I love that
Yay.
music. I need to get a copy of that for my personal playlist. That is so good.
Yes.
Yep.
Hi,
It's a jazz every
everyone.
time.
Okay, so I wanted to start out on a happy note for everyone. Okay, I went a little crazy. Um,
Just a tad.
so I got like all the Moonfall. This is the 4K and this is the Steelbook.
I love it.
They were
Nice.
very heavily on sale because apparently no one but me gives a fuck about this movie. But god damn it, this is the coolest shit. I can't take it out because that's why I have this. I don't want to take it out of the plastic packaging. But basically this has like a clear this steelbook has like a clear cover that goes over it, and it has the moon on it, and then underneath is like the moon becoming like the entity, right?
Beautiful.
Like
That's amazing.
This is like a work of art for some reason on this movie. I've seen movies that I like that have shitty steelbooks. It's basically just like the cover of the Blu-ray, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody cares. Apparently there's more. I'm not the only person that cares. I'm very excited and happy to know that. So I wanted y'all to have the good news first. I have all of the Moonfall.
Yay!
Except for the Blu-ray and the DVD. But
Stunning and brave.
Yes, I have all of it.
Slay
It's very
Queen!
exciting.
You have Moonfall. Where's
Yes. Valhalla Mixtape Volume 2 coming soon. Nice. Eris is pregnant? No? I'm pretty sure I would be aware of that. I'm just letting y'all know. 15 minutes late. So fucking rude. I also decided to wear a character that needed to be in this movie, but I'm kind of secretly glad wasn't. But then the show he was on, actually, I don't know if that was a blessing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like there are no right choices.
Right.
He's either in this shitty movie or he does that shitty show. So it's like where he makes out with himself.
Yeah.
You know, it's he makes out with his middle-aged counterpart. His middle-aged Karen counterpart. That definitely wasn't the fantasy of the person who wrote it.
Not
that wasn't a self-insert.
No.
I'm the only one that care. Yeah, because Moonfall is fantastic. I need to get a poster. I love this. I love this movie. This movie is fucking amazing. But I had to show it off. That's actually one of the only reasons I'm on camera, because I wanted to show y'all this.
Yeah, it's in that like 1% of movies that actually has a really hardcore fan base. Toys is that movie for me. If I'm the only person in the world who loves that movie, I don't give a shit. I love that movie. That's Toys and Moonfall. It's a great movie, yeah. There they go, you know. Yeah.
I won't deny I absolutely love The Room.
I'd say this is on par. This is the disaster movie version of The Room. I will go ahead and probably another one. That.
Yeah.
This is the disaster.
That movie's a train wreck, and I love every moment of it.
It is what it is meant to be, and that's why we embrace it.
Now, The Room is something we need to do a watch party for.
Oh God, yes!
Oh, Chris, no, the character Loki makes out with a female counterpart and falls in love, like
God,
and for no apparent reason, because she's like this complete, like, nothing burger as far as a human being goes. Except she's a bitch and an arrogant, unbearable one. She's like the person you hope as like a cashier you never ever have to encounter. So who thinks it's your fault that something has gone terribly wrong? Yes. When you literally just work the register and check people out. Why is it blue now? I don't know. What? I don't know. I didn't choose that color. So, yeah. movie.
Yeah,
not as cringe as I wanted it to be. I was actually probably one of the only people that was really excited about the concept of maximum cringe, especially after Moonfall. I was hoping for a very seriously, like a serious movie that was so cringe that I wanted to both die and laugh. So, I was kind of hoping for something like that. I should have known better with Taika Waititi directing, and it being a Marvel movie. The concept of seriousness just fucking goes out the window. So
yes, yes,
man, it's like Marvel read all those comments and heard all those reviews about people saying that you need to just let serious moments like be serious. You can have comedy, but you need to let moments breathe and have like if two people are talking and it's a very, very serious conversation, you don't just have some minor character walk in like doing something that could be funny to a 5-year-old. And just like make some dumbass line and just ruin the serious moment. You don't need to do that for every serious moment. You can just let serious moments breathe. That's one of the few things I think they did correct in Infinity War and Endgame with all of my issues I have with those two movies. They let the serious moments breathe. And it made them better in that aspect. Now, there's a whole lot of shit, especially the time travel in Endgame. Well, I won't get into that. Or the fact that there's no like what's the word, the emotional buildup you have in Infinity War versus like the emotional buildup you have in Endgame. It's like you don't it's not the same fucking Thanos, so there's like it's gone once you like acknowledge that, and yeah, it ruins that moment. All these characters having this moment of it's like, well, he didn't fucking experience what you're taking out on him. So it's not satisfying. That's the word I was looking for.
Whereas like Thanos in Infinity War, he's a compelling villain because you understand completely where he's coming from. Whereas the one in Endgame, he hasn't done anything. He was just a mustache.
No, he's very confused. He's just like, what?
I feel like this movie, from the minute we're introduced to Thor, where Korg is telling his story to the younglings.
I hated Korg in this movie. I want that clear for everyone listening.
And we're introduced to him, right? The minute we see Thor, it is yuck yuck after yuck yuck after yuck yuck after elbow after winky wink after nod nod after say no more. It's fucking constant.
And
with his character.
And I feel cheated that we did not get the 80s style training montage of him losing the fat Thor body.
Yeah, if you're gonna go there,
I wanted to at least
go the 80s montages. Exactly.
Yeah, just
exactly. Do it.
They just showed clips of him exercising, but it's like just go that extra little mile, make it a training montage.
Let's fucking hear the Rocky music, something.
Yeah,
let's go there. They didn't. Yuck yuck after yuck after yuck yuck. I'm just like,
especially especially since Taika Waititi has like given Thor like this 80s aesthetic, it would fit. So just do it.
It's almost like I was watching them trying to be like Flash Gordon, but without the cool camp, with the yuck yuck camp. And
Flash Gordon is just, I've watched it recently. It's not.
Flash Gordon is the time it was made, and let's face it, it's got some camp to it. I mean, Queen does the soundtrack. You can't get much more talent and campy than Queen.
It's
and that's
80s
Flash
superhero
Gordon to me.
What do you want? Yeah, it's a footballer in space. I don't know what you want. Like
this movie did not have the charm that the Flash Gordon movie had, but you could see them trying to get there, but they constantly failed, and that's why I'm so irritated. because they never committed.
Mm-mm.
They never committed all the way.
Everything is played off as a joke.
Yeah, it's just a joke, not tongue in cheek, but just a joke.
I mean, Arwyn, you touched on it, and we were talking about it before we went live.
Oh my god!
Korg doing like that little introduction thing. It's treated. He's recapping Thor's backstory in a comedic way. Then he lost his dad. Then he lost his brother. Then he lost his sister. It's like,
yeah, I have it pulled up. Yeah,
it's awful.
It's
I had
really
wished
bad.
At one point, I had wished that a TARDIS had just swooped in from above, grabbed Thor, and taken him back in time to when Thor was haughty and arrogant and a troublemaker, but he was still badass Thor. Let's take it back to the first movie, to that Thor. At least that Thor, as insufferable
Thor
as
was a serious
way
character.
better. Yes.
He wasn't jokey in the first two films. He was a serious guy.
He wasn't. And I'm like, can we please just take him back in time? Because this Thor gets on my nerves. He's not Thor. He's not.
And
Thor,
at least Ragnarok had a balance.
It did.
It gave serious moments a chance to breathe. While I did find it a little too jokey, there was still an attempt at drama. This one, every single dramatic moment, outside of like the very, very end, every dramatic moment has a punchline. And that's distracting because if they're not taking this seriously, why should I?
Oh my God. And did Thor really mount a broom?
Yes.
Did he really mount a fucking broom and fly off?
He's a witch. What do you mean? You didn't know that?
I had to pause it for a minute and go, he used his weapon.
He used Stormbreaker as like he's the Wicked Witch of the West. He's the Wicked Witch of Ragnarok.
Oh my God. And then he's in a robe looking like Moses, stretching out with his 10 commandments.
That was so bizarre. It's like he's talking like peace and love. It's like there's this there's a battle going on and people are dying and he's like, all right, I can take care of this. And then he just obliterates everyone. It's like, how many lives could have you saved if you just got off your damn ass?
And the temple still falls. And they're all like,
treated as a joke. Like, this is their sacred temple.
He's like,
and they're like, I don't want to talk about the temple. I don't want to talk about the temple. Why don't you want to talk about him destroying your temple?
Talk about the fucking temple. That was the whole point of you coming in to save the battle, to save the temple. God. And then it was set up that for, Jane, anything you can do, I can do better. Mighty Thor. Just like,
yeah,
oh my God, is this the first 15 minutes?
I didn't understand, like, for the most part, like, I didn't understand her character. You know what I mean? Like, I just really...
Okay, I mean...
if you take her out of it, does the movie plot really change that terribly much?
To be perfectly honest, Valkyrie could have filled that role. Now, I'm always in favor of getting rid of Valkyrie. And I would much rather prefer Lady Thor over... Well, Sif would have been the best choice. But I would have preferred... I would much rather... The less Valkyrie in the movie, the better.
You mean
Tessa Thompson is terrible.
Because Queen cringe.
Yes, because Queen and the words Queen and Lady are forbidden in this movie.
Yeah.
They're not empowered enough.
Yes,
do you have a penis, Tessa Thompson? No, you can't be king then. I'm sorry, that's just how it works. So you need to go slap yourself a penis on, and then you can call yourself king. So
Valkyrie in her suits, fuck right off with that. I was so annoyed.
If Odin died, Frigga would have been queen, and she wouldn't have called herself king. You fucks. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Do you think Hela would have called herself King Hela? No.
Nope.
Nope. Why are you the only person that has a problem with the word queen? Are you insecure about your femininity? The answer is yes, obviously. But, like, fuck off. I don't need to deal with your insecure bullshit, okay? Get out of here. I can't stand Tessa Thompson.
Yeah.
I think she's worse than Brie Larson. I'll go ahead and say it. I think she is.
Oh, she's terrible.
It's a bold statement.
What was it I said to you, Sensei, about Tessa Thompson makes Zendaya looks like an Academy Award winner. She's just so fucking
I'll take Zendaya over. Yeah, I'll take Zendaya all fucking damn day over Tessa Thompson.
Arwyn, how do I reply something like, I've seen Rashes act up better than Tessa Thompson?
Yes, you have.
Holy shit, that's a 10 out of 10 response.
How did I miss that? We were texting back and forth in the group chat, and I'm trying to watch this damn movie. I'm not even pausing because I so don't give a shit. I was just like, this is more interesting.
And Ram Bam, yes, Jamie Alexander is believable as a warrior because she has that, she can carry that.
Yeah.
So she's actually good.
Yes,
and competent.
She's a talented actress, which pissed me off that when Sif was dying, Thor rushed to her, and she's content about, I want to die in battle. And Thor's like, well, technically you need to die in battle to get to Valhalla, but your arm's probably there.
What?
I wanted to just throw myself off a balcony. I'll be honest with you. That's not how that works. Also, hey, Valkyrie, you're apparently the only Valkyrie fucking left. Could you do your job? Because if you're still going to call yourself Valkyrie, you have to fucking attend to the dead and choose who goes to Valhalla. Where are you? Where's your ass? Okay, because I don't think you're ruling Asgard or whatever the 90s fucking Goodwill version of Asgard that's occurring at the moment. How did we go from fucking top tier makeup and costuming that we have seen in all 3 Thor movies, to we bought this from a fucking thrift store. All of their clothes were from a fucking thrift store. You can't convince me otherwise. There's no way. Really? The women are gonna fucking try to do some. They've had this fashion for fucking centuries, millenniums, and they're just gonna throw it away when they move. Why would they do that? Nobody does that. Nobody just stops wearing what they usually would wear. They adapt to it. I would have loved to have seen a modern plus ancient, kind of mixture. You know how Black Panther did that with their costumes and whatnot? Yeah. I would love to have seen that, but for the Asgardians. No, they all shopped at Goodwill. They raided a Goodwill, and they just all apparently go there. I like that. I didn't.
That also reminds me something else that I just thought of this. Remember when we were seeing the rebirth of Asgard that King Valkyrie is putting it forth, and in there was the Infinity Cafe that has the Infinity Gauntlet as their logo. What?
Oh, yeah. Thor's friend died because he wore that and saved all of Earth and y'all's asses. But that's okay, I guess, to make that a joke. I would assume the gauntlet, Thanos' gauntlet, is a very serious thing and not to be made fun of. But
that's like having a nuclear bomb cafe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like an actual bomb, like an actual almost realistic, minus the plutonium, right, or the uranium, whichever one you need for that.
Right.
For that, it's like a literal, actual nuclear bomb there.
See, when I first saw King Valkyrie and all the little kids, all the little happy kids and all the little happy adults, and welcome to New Valhalla. You know what I thought at first it was supposed to be? Like a freaking Renaissance fair. I didn't realize that was an actual place. I thought it was a freaking Renaissance,
New Asgard.
New Valhalla, or New Asgard. Yeah, I thought it was like a Renaissance fair that you could just go to, experience it for a day, and then go home. And I'm like, wait a minute. These fuckers live here? Okay. This is supposed to be their new place. I was so confused. Again, it had to do with the clothing and the atmosphere and the aesthetic. I never got that this was the new foundation, their new home. It never clicked with me.
Epstein's ghost. There's a link to a tip jar in my description if you want to give me money.
Oh.
I'm trying to
You
go.
said monetized already. So...
Oh, all right. Let me ask y'all something because I never got this from the film.
Okay.
And again, I was trying to watch it as someone who knew a little bit about Thor history, but not so much that it got in my way. But at the same time, I wanted to kind of try and watch it as a new person to see what they were giving me. Okay. Mm-hmm. I never once got from any of these films what the hell it is that made Jane worthy. Can y'all shed some light for me? Because they never explained it. They never explained what made her worthy.
She's a slave.
Is that why she's worthy?
No,
that's what I'm getting.
The explanation in the film is at one point Thor simply said to Mjolnir, keep an eye on her, keep her safe. And that was enough that when Jane went to go to the shattered pieces of Mjolnir, that's now like a monument to it.
Right, I saw that. Shades of Lord of the Rings, but okay, go ahead.
It reconstituted itself. Why couldn't it do that when, for Thor? I don't know.
Because he is the worthy one.
Yeah. Thor is not a title. That's his name. His title is God of Thunder, son of Odin. King of Asgard, whatever you want, Avenger, whatever you want. That's a title. His name is Thor. Eris is not a fucking title that I'll just
it's not a mantle. That's who you are. That is your name. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whereas unlike in the comics with Donald Blake, picking up Mjolnir and gaining the powers of Thor, where it is more of a mantle, it's very clear in the films.
Yes.
It's his name.
God,
he
Thor.
is
it's
Thor.
His name. Exactly.
That's the Norse mythos, God of thunder. That is, and other things too.
I could not get past that as a viewer.
Mm-hmm.
I could not get past that. I'm like, you've got the power of, or through, in this case, the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, you would be associated with that, not with this, 6'5", blue-eyed blonde Asgardian. He is who he is. She is who she is, and that I can't get past that.
I like that her hair had blonde ombre when she was Thor.
Yeah,
so apparently, in order to become Thor, you need to have some blonde.
You've got to
be blonde.
Apparently.
Now I want to see Loki with frosted blonde tits with Mjolnir. Okay, I need this to happen. I need this to occur, or highlights. Okay?
Or how about when Captain America picked up Mjolnir? How come he didn't?
He got a little blonder. I think he was already blonde.
That's true. He already was.
Yeah.
I did forget about that.
Except
his beard was bright. It was a very dark brown. But whatever.
It's fine. Guys and their beards can be weird when it comes to color. I don't know why. You'll have brunettes have ginger beards and vice versa and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Thor said he liked Captain Marvel. Forgot about that. Frosted blonde tits. Yes, I want Loki to have frosted blonde tits when he gets Mjolnir in the movies. Yeah, no, that's right. You heard that correctly. I definitely didn't say tips. We're going full Backstreet Boys here. Is her saying she was the second to wield Mjolnir? She was Odin is the first, I think, if I remember correctly. Technically speaking, that's his hammer, I think. Didn't he make it for Thor? He can summon it.
I thought he did.
Well, no, okay, hold on, Mark. You're saying she's the second person to weird Mjolnir.
Oh, to weird Mjolnir out? Yeah, I would agree with that.
I guess that's true. That's probably a fair statement.
I do have to say, I think it's funny because I've looked this up. The hammer symbol in as far as symbolism goes in our culture and actually in Norse culture is the hammer is the symbol of a penis. So I find it really funny that it took Jane Foster to reassemble the OG, you know, hammer time penis that Thor wielded. That was amusing to me. I don't know why.
Whole scene with her and friggin' Valkyrie. Are you packing? Shing, 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 shing. I was just like, can I just throw up in my bucket now?
Valkyrie, what did you do again? I actually didn't even recognize her as like having any semblance of importance because I thought she was like a college student for a second. When they're like in that building and they're all like crowded together, I was just like, oh dear God, she's starting a protest. And then I realized who that was. I was like, oh fuck, okay. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
The Norse got symbol, yeah. I was just saying at this thing. Both, actually. Yeah, Odin was the first, Hela was the second, Thor the first, Steve was the fourth. Yeah, she's not even really close. She's not even the first woman. Also, hard rip to Hela.
She's not the heir or the spare or the spare's heir and spare.
I know. I mean, it's
one thing to like down at the bottom of the barrel.
She gets completely ignored in this. She doesn't get addressed at all in this film. She gets recasted by Melissa McCarthy. It's a really bad day for Hela.
Yeah. I was really, because Hela was like by far, I think, my favorite part of Ragnarok, and I really, really enjoyed Ragnarok. This isn't coming from someone who I did not enjoy this movie, but I enjoyed Ragnarok, and I just, well, first of all, it's very clear that part of what makes Thor works is his interaction with, like, the Avengers. He works in the Avengers because he has this chemistry with the other Avengers, and it works really, really well. And he does kind of have some chemistry with the Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's like not even close. He plays the dumbass, the big dumb jock, and that's just not amusing to me.
And it worked pretty well. It worked pretty well in the in Infinity War when they first met, because there was such a huge crisis, and the fact that you had two sets of characters that the audiences knew pretty well, that had not interacted with before. That was kind of fun. That was interesting.
That was fun.
It worked in that movie. Here, it's like, why are you guys here? And did anyone else know?
Oh, great question.
Did anyone else notice that there was no Gamora? Like she apparently
holy
took off.
Shit! I didn't fucking notice that.
I caught that.
Well, she's hella confused, I gotta say.
Well, true, because this is the alternate timeline Gamora. I understand that, but still.
And I don't understand why she didn't disappear. Because if they did everything correctly in Endgame and put him back and nothing changed because they put him back, then she should have disappeared. The everything alternate should have disappeared. So
I know. Oh, Endgame has tons of problems, but we're not talking about Endgame.
No, I need to stop. I gotta stop. All right. Let me see. Hard rip to anyone Thor gave a shit about in other movies that you may have cried over. Hi, I cried, definitely. Do you know why the Loki scene isn't funny, Taika Waititi? Do you want to know why? Because it was a joke, kind of, in the community. That Loki fakes his death every single time, but then he actually died, and that doesn't make it funny anymore.
No,
because y'all went and actually fucking killed him so that you could make a series where he's Doctor Who and fucks himself. I can't. No, stop it. That wasn't funny. Frigga's death had me bawling in the fucking theater, so fuck you for that. Odin dying was like that was like a sad moment, right? The passing of the Allfather is a sad moment. Let's see. Oh yeah. I do think that it was kind of relatively okay to kind of not give a shit about the Warriors 3, because they haven't given a shit about the Warriors 3 since the original Thor, and even then they really didn't give a shit about them. The actor for Fandral changed every single movie he was in, and nobody noticed. So,
pretty much.
and oh lol, he lost his whole planet. But yeah, that's insane. By the way, that's a whole in Norse mythos. The idea of Asgard blowing up is insane. Okay, like I don't understand why that's being used as a joke here. I straight up just don't fucking get that. Oh my god, somebody tipped me. Oh, I don't have the thing open because of course I don't, because I am terrible at
We're
this.
only professionals here.
Well, I never expected anyone to give me money, so I never have it open. $2, thank you, and you gave me a thumbs up. Thank you. Yay. Oh, I just read the one from last week that Chris sent. Proof of the mysterious boob shark. That's so funny. We got screaming goats. Yay?
Yeah, that was confusing. I was just like, what is this? It's why are giant screaming goats your mode of transportation now?
It's Thor, Love, and Thunder. Also, somebody probably liked those screaming goat videos that were funny like 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
That's the kind of energy I got. So. Interesting. Okay. Do they scream, though? That we need confirmation. Do they scream? Like banshees?
Yes. Constantly.
Okay. No, I'm talking about in the mythos, Ram Bam. Do they actually scream like banshees? Norse. Why the goats? I don't get the goats thing. Okay, I was so mad about Sif. I don't know if I could put it into words. I've gone on my rants about Endgame, right?
Yeah.
Where he should have lost the weight and had this fucking montage thing in Endgame with Sif as his coach. And what should have happened is they got in there and couldn't convince him to come out and actually give a shit anymore because he's depressed. And Sif goes in there and literally and it zooms out and Sif basically just throws him across the fucking ocean. All right, just straight up throws him across, and he's just like, okay, fine, just gives in immediately. That would have been a funny moment, right? And then they have their 80s little montage thing, and that would have broken up the seriousness of the Endgame. Because one thing you can say is Endgame is a little bit too serious, especially when you compare it to the rest of the Marvel. You got to have a little bit of lightness there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would have been cool to have that in there. And then what you could have is that Sif and Thor are slowly kind of becoming an item, which, by the way, they totally are in mythology.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Yep, Sif is his wife.
Yeah. The goddess of war and god of thunder.
Yeah, no, she lost an arm in battle, and they make a joke about it.
Yeah, the goddess of war is not going to go to fucking Valhalla. The goddess of death can fucking die. We just don't give a shit about actual things, She should have been the one to bring him back up. Yeah, she definitely should have.
Yeah.
Without question. I don't even think that's. I think that's very easy.
I mean, it was such an out of character moment for both of them.
Which scene are y'all talking about?
Thor
Sif.
with Sif.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And how Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
it was so out of character for both of them.
It was.
Yes.
You had Sif saying, she wants to die in Valhalla. She'll let her die because she'll go to Valhalla. When she should know, dying not in battle will mean you don't go to Valhalla. She would know that.
Right.
And then
yes,
Thor would not try to dissuade her dreams like that as his friend is lying there dying.
Yeah.
They're well, actually, you need to die in battle to go to Valhalla, but your arm's probably there.
Your arm's there.
Lol. Like, oh.
And then when we see her at the end, she's training with only one arm. Like, we know there's prosthetics in this universe where you have like fully functional abilities and stuff. Like, why can't she have a prosthetic? Really? Nebula is like half cyborg. Why can't she have a fake arm?
Exactly. Because that they just wanted the yuck scene.
I kind of assumed that's like the only reason the Guardians of the Galaxy were kind of even there, because I couldn't have told you why they were really there for the most part. It was like, "Lo, remember them?" And that was pretty much it.
Well, I mean, he
also
during his Krog's remembrance things, he brings them up, like, and then he lost that guy and that guy and that guy.
Oh my god! Fuck! You know what? Really? Death the Korg. Fucking death the Korg.
Yeah,
I hated Korg.
I was happy. Taka Waititi, Korg was great in Ragnarok
because he was used sparingly.
But then you had to go and put yourself, because that's who plays fucking Korg. You had to put yourself in 90% of the fucking movie. You're good in like 20 max, okay? Because all he is a quip machine. He's the fucking guy that has...
He's the comic relief.
Yes, but comic relief isn't comic relief when it's just all the time. There's nothing to relieve it. Because
too much comic relief gives us Jar Jar Binks.
Yep.
Okay, and it's like that. This was the Jar Jar of this movie for all intents and purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it was nonstop.
Yeah.
Especially since like our group of heroes, we have Thor, we have Jane, we have Valkyrie, and we have Korg.
King Valkyrie.
Okay, well let's look at
Mighty Thor. Okay.
Well, let's look at another group of four.
Fuck Thor. I'm sorry.
But let's look at another group of four heroes. The Ninja Turtles. They each have set roles. Michelangelo is the comic relief, but he knows when to take things seriously. He's not quipping jokes all the time, at least when they're written properly. Which has been inconsistent over the years.
Right. But he's tempered, like with Raphael's kind of, not troublesome. That's not the word I'm looking for. Turbulent. With his kind of,
he's cool but rude.
Yes,
They say in the song.
Him. And then you got, Donatello. Wasn't he the pizza freak? Donatello?
No. I mean,
they all love pizza.
Hashtag cancel Arwyn. Donatello does.
They all were.
Donatello is the machines guy. He's the nerd of the group.
I know, but he also isn't he the one who was always ordering the pizzas first? He was the one who was like first in line to get the damn pizza. I don't know.
No, that was Michelangelo.
Okay, well then you got Leonardo, the leader. Kind of the brains, kind of the glue that holds them all together. See, got my nerd cred back, damn it. But you didn't get that in here. You didn't get that in here.
No, absolutely not.
We women are going to do the thing, and Thor, you just sit there and look pretty, and we'll pat your head, and you can yuck a couple of times. And Korg, you
got to see his ass. Isn't that what you want in the movie?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to see that. That was something I've always looked forward to see.
I didn't even care about his ass. Yes, it was a great shot, but I didn't even care about that. Yeah. And then them fucking sitting over there eating popcorn. Should we help him? Oh, no, we will eventually. Fuck off!
Yeah, not like you could actually help him to begin with. I mean,
I hated it.
Zeus would probably be like, "Lol, who are you?"
Mm-hmm. And I demand equality. I demand equality. How about all those serving wenches with Zeus? Where was their ass shots? I demand equality. Damn it!
Yeah.
Where was Hela? Oh, not Hela. Where was Hera? Okay, what the fuck?
Oh my god! It shows even muscles can be made of fucking soy.
I will say.
Just no.
I don't know why you showed Zeus not being in shape.
Oh my god.
Greeks
Zeus?
were very.
That was, yeah.
All right.
Every depiction of Zeus ever. He's
literally, he's Adonis. Okay. They all
literally are. Greek perfection.
Oh my god. Yeah. He was it was like Al Capone, and I know he's supposed to have a Greek accent, but he sounded like a parody of a bad Italian mobster.
Oh God!
And just the freaking cringe when he comes down and he's with the lightning bolt.
Well, how about when he walks down the stairs and he like picks up his toga like it's a skirt?
Oh my god! And he did the skirt flip.
It's like what the? This is Zeus.
Zeus is already. Zeus is already cringe if you just read the mythos. Okay, you don't actually have to like add on to it. All right, he married his sister.
Yeah.
Zeus is a pretty horrible person in the Greek.
Yeah,
myth.
He is
thoroughly terrible. Like by far one of the worst. Okay, I'm sad that I.
But we introduced Hercules in the MCU. Hooray!
Yeah, and guess what? It wasn't anyone that I would have wanted to play Hercules.
I didn't even recognize him. Who's
and already they were starting Hercules out as a dark character right off the bat. They introduced him as a dark, evil character.
If you look at what he did to the Amazons,
I don't see him as evil. I see him more as not necessarily a dark, not an anti-hero, but I don't see him as evil. I see him as he could walk that line. He could walk that line either way, depending on the situation. But that's not. He's more neutral. Don't see him as evil. And right now he's like, ha 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 ha! I'm father. Yeah, I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, Greeks didn't wear togas. The Romans wore togas. Thank you, Random.
There's a difference between dark and evil, y'all.
Oh,
difference.
I saw Artemis in the fucking crowd. You can't tell me that the fucking chick that we saw for 0.2 seconds that looked like she had just come from a hunt was not Artemis. All right, I didn't see myself represented, but that's probably because Eris couldn't be fucking bothered to show her ass up.
I didn't catch it.
That would have been a hell of a lot cooler if they had the Greek gods behind him.
That would have made a lot more sense. That would have made a lot of sense if they were all like on that patio with Zeus.
And they're behind and flanking him, and then he can be up there being a buffoon, but you would get the impression, okay, he's got some power behind him, and for some reason they're standing behind him, so maybe there is more to Zeus than just, opa. No, I didn't get that.
Who played Hercules? No, that would have been a good casting. That's who I was hoping.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy was. I don't know who he was. And I didn't care enough to look it up, to be honest.
Okay, fucking... Fun fact, Greeks wearing armor don't just wear armor on their fucking top. I can't believe he was wearing a fucking sundress from Ross on the bottom half of his fucking outfit, okay? Yeah. That skirt he's wearing, dude, I used to have a sundress with that white sundress that looked exactly like that, okay? Mm-hmm.
One swift kick to the nuts and he'd be on his knees. Yeah, in that damn outfit he was wearing.
And again, fat Zeus. We have Zeus.
I don't have a problem with the fat Zeus if he's got the mass and the bulk and the height to back it up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You got like somebody 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall. With that kind of mass, that would be intimidating.
Yes.
But they didn't go there.
Russell Crowe's not that big.
No, he's not. He's not. He cannot play a buffoon and make it come across as an act. When he's playing Zeus as a buffoon, Zeus comes across as a buffoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's not he's using that to shield his power or anything. And that I could have got behind. That I could have been like, all right, I see where he's coming from. Okay, this is a show.
That also could have worked. Yeah, like several doctors have done that where they play the buffoon so that they're underestimated.
Yeah, and then at the end when he drew out his thunderbolt, then you could have seen the power behind him. Then they could have really
thunderbolt
had
looked so lame. I just want to say, it's like how can you not have that thing like constantly glowing? It should be like a terrifying thing when you see it.
Exactly.
And
something
yet
that makes you shake in your shoes,
Yes, because like this is Zeus's thunderbolt.
But no,
I gotta say,
and Zeus can use the thunderbolt for teleportation now.
Apparently,
okay. Should have probably established that outside of just one line where Thor said, Zeus is well known for his entrances.
Yeah.
Oh.
So was Hela. Oh, every god is supposed to be super fucking dramatic.
But they didn't. They didn't. There was oh god, if they had just sat and thought about it for, I'm convinced even 10 more minutes in the story room, some of these scenes, 10, just give it 10 more minutes. They would have been like, this is really dumb. Let's go a little bit farther and do this. They just chopped it off at the knees.
How there's also going back to like the very, very beginning, like as we were talking about, Zeus or Thor is with the Guardians, doing Guardians of the Galaxy adventures stuff. So when you boil it down, what Thor is doing is he's looking for a purpose in life now, right? That's like his arc.
Yes, apparently.
How about setting up Asgard and helping your people rebuild? That seems like a pretty noble damn purpose.
No. One would think, but King Valkyrie apparently is the only one who really cares about that, because she's King Valkyrie, and Thor's out there trying to, cry in his beer and moon about Jane. Which, don't get me wrong, I when you love someone and you can't be together, I mean, that's a powerful thing. But come on, Thor, you are Thor. Did we forget? You've suffered hardship before and you've still been Thor.
Yeah.
But no, he's out giving,
another thing that we haven't really discussed. This movie, up until like the last,
I agree, Arlena.
Yeah.
Totally agree. My bad. Oops.
Yeah, I know Fluffication. We'll get there.
But go ahead. What you were going to say about
this movie also was just so sloppily written, because when Jane has Mjolnir, and she gains her powers, it does not explain until like the last act that it's wiping out her chemo and using like her her human strength in order for the transformation.
Why?
Why didn't you reveal that until like later? You hadn't shown her getting weaker using those powers.
Yeah, she seemed pretty on par with Thor, and he's literally like a god.
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't you explain, like, at the beginning? It takes it out of her when she transforms.
Because then you couldn't have the traumatic thing at the end.
It
doesn't mean anything.
You literally could have that at the end, and it doesn't feel as contrived because it's not brought up out of nowhere.
Well, didn't they try and show a little bit of that when she's in the bathroom?
Yes.
And she puts down the hammer, and then she then you see what she looks like without the power, and then she picks it back up, and then she's Lady Thor again.
Which
they hinted.
Which I will give them credit, when they show her, without, the suit, makes it abundantly clear. Yes, those are fake muscles, people.
Yeah, and that she's sick.
Yeah,
she's
the hammer.
To add that on
again. Penis gives her testosterone when she wields it. So
yeah, fair enough. We could see that.
It does not really.
She gets sperm. Sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
Gives her testosterone. She's basically a dude. Okay.
Gives her 2 big kahunas.
Oh my goodness, Arlo.
And not the ones up here. Okay, so the big kahuna down
swinging fruit. That's what it gives her.
The swinging.
Oh my god.
The swinging basket of fruit.
Sweet chariots. Sorry.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Anyway,
so I was reviewing. Well, y'all were talking. I was reviewing the fucking scene where they fight Zeus. I have issue here. Valkyrie, who still doesn't have a fucking name, by the way.
It's just her job title.
Yeah, she just, who the fuck cares what her name is? I'm glad we've just accepted that no one actually gives a shit about Tessa Thompson's character.
It's like calling somebody waitress. That's your name now, waitress.
Hey, streamer. Yeah, you. Yeah.
Oh my god.
She picks up Thor's Thunderbolt. As somebody who very obviously absolutely loves Greek mythology.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Not just anyone can just fucking pick that thing up. And even if you pick it up, it's literally useless because it's basically a lightning rod. So unless you have lightning powers, that thing is nothing. It's a crooked spear. That's what it is to you. I have no idea why she thought picking that up was a good idea. Like, you do not gain any benefit by having that. Like, yeah, sure, you could give it to Thor or, Jane or whatever, but they already have their main weapon. Why would they wield this other thing? And plus, their whole fighting style, particularly Thor's, is based around wielding the hammer or his axe. Like, wielding a weapon like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunderbolt is an entirely different weapon. It does not at all have. He has no practice in it. There's no reason to assume that he would have any competency in wielding it. That's just, it's useless. It's absolutely fucking useless. It's like you picked up a specialty weapon. It's like, okay, so in Diablo 3, it would be like me as a fucking, I don't know, as a barbarian trying to use a wand.
That
doesn't work.
It doesn't mean you're going to pick it up and automatically, have the knowledge on how to use it. No, fuck off with that.
A wand is a magic. It basically like helps the wielder
channel that energy through.
Channel their magic. Yeah. So a barbarian has no use at all for a fucking wand. And just because you pick it up doesn't mean all of a sudden he has no
comprehension on even how to wield it or use it. And you've got Zeus's Thunderbolt and King Valkyrie's like, yeah.
As a Greek, I'm offended. Okay, let me tell you something. If you actually are Greek, or if you enjoy any kind of Greek mythos whatsoever, the throne room thing with Zeus will fucking piss you off. I am pretty fucking pissed. I guarantee you, Greece will not like this movie. This is
even the concept of Dionysus pissed me off. You see him over there.
Dionysus.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, that's not entirely.
I mean, not my version. Not my version. Not the other ones. No. Maybe that was one tiny incarnation of him. But he was also a satyr. He was also a faun. He was also like Hearn, big fucking powerful with the horns and the feet and the grapes. I mean, there's a lot of different, versions of him they could have gone with. But of course, they chose the obvious.
The drunk party animal. That's the most common interpretation.
Of course they did. And I'm like, y'all are supposed to be in some badass place. All of y'all are damn Dom DeLuise in fucking History of the World Part 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I got from them. And History of the World Part 1 did it better. And I know he was playing an emperor, not a god, but still it was that same kind of buffoonery, that same kind of lowest common denominator humor.
The fat Dionysus in the Fantasia short was better.
Exactly. And that's what got to me.
Where's on the tiny little donkey?
They could have gone so much farther with this, and they didn't. They just chose 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, we'll go there. We will stop there. And it just it irritated me so much. My notes are going everywhere. I'm just like, God.
Oh my God.
I'm so irritated because Eris, like you, man, Greek mythology, that was my very first jam as a kid. My introduction to mythology were the Greeks. And they are some pernicious, fucked up gods. I won't lie. They have issues. Yeah. But there's so much more to them than just that, or the yuck, or the I'm Zeus, let me flip my skirt at you because No, there's so much more than that. But woke titties didn't go there, did he? He just said, nope, we're going to do this for laughs, and bad laughs at that.
This movie kind of gave me like, I want to do Thor Ragnarok, but I've also been inspired by Ghostbusters 2016. Like, that's what this movie is for me. Like, my humor's been inspired by Ghostbusters 2016. I want to rip off Ragnarok, and I want to rip off Guardians of the Galaxy, but
is Melissa McCarthy available? Oh my god!
She is, and she can play like one of my all-time favorite Marvel characters who, fuck you, is not dead. Stop trying to convince me she's dead. She's the goddess of death. Do you know where the goddess of death goes? She goes to her own realm. What do you think she's gonna do in her own realm?
Yeah.
Who's gonna judge? She is! What do you mean? I don't. This is so dumb. This is stupid. Fuck.
And why did they need to go? Why did they need to go to the realm of the gods in the first place? Like, what was the point? What was the point of asking? What was the what was the point of like asking them for help? I mean, because Zeus.
Did he want them all to band together to fight this guy? That's my impression, but why?
True, but then, as Zeus even pointed out, each realm watches out for themselves.
I mean, he had a point, I thought.
He did. It's like, well, so Thor, being thousands of years old, would know this. The realms are kind of on their own. So
yeah, he's like over.
Why would he think? Why would he think to ask the gods for help?
Okay, and
no
at
point.
This point at this point in the film is where my annoyance was.
Ram Bam. The point was to get the ass shot in.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think you're right. It's like my annoyance ascended into its higher version, because you are absolutely right, Sensei. Thor has been around for a long time. He's been here. He's conversed. He knows what's going on, and he stood up and was like, Zeus is like, on the dais, come down, come on, little Thor, approach me on the dais. And Thor goes in there and is just like, blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. I'm like, he would know how to approach fucking Zeus.
Come down to the stage. The stage.
Yes,
it's
the stage.
Platform. The platform. That looks like a stage. Like, what is this?
I was like,
what's going on?
Y'all fuck all the way
Let
off.
me rip off your clothes without like consent at all. Because if Thor was a woman, I forgot he actually kind of is technically in this movie. That would be okay, I'm sure. It's funny because the guy does it. Now. Also, hard rip to those women that fainted at the sight of Thor's dick.
It's junk.
Zeus, man, that must have been really rough for you to see. Because the fact that they fainted over it and they're with you, man, like
emasculation.
I mean, the gag does kind of work, but it doesn't make sense. Especially when they are supposed to have been, Zeus flat out mentions you're uninvited to the orgy. So orgies are a thing. So why would they be like, oh my goodness, a penis?
Now see,
Hades is fucking. He has the Adonis bod of all of the gods there. Hades is okay. He's the bad boy. He's the dark, smoky bad boy in the group. That's like the recluse that's in his goth lair.
And I just thought of something that might have worked, okay, with the whole
that could be
campiness and rambunctiousness of the Greek gods. If the rest of the movie had some modicum of seriousness to them, and then they go and find out Zeus and his panel of Greeks are not the serious warriors they thought they were, that they were, kind of this, we don't really give a shit about y'all. You do your own thing. We're going to do our own thing. We don't really care. Then I could have seen Thor and them being like, motherfuckers, why did we come here? He's right. We do have to take care of our own, because we're all we have. Our people and us, we're all we have. You know what I mean? It would have been more powerful in that regard. But it was just like every other part of the movie. It was one yuck after another, and it just fell flat. Mm-hmm. Another missed opportunity, woke titties.
Well, what's kind of funny is like the idea, y'all pointed out that they went to a foreign pantheon for help.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, a destroyer of all gods is everyone's problem. And in my opinion, there's like no planet where there's no way Zeus wouldn't know. That's just not how that works. He would be aware of it. I think it would have been better if they actually like stuck more to his mythos and made him an uncaring, like, I don't give a shit what's happening to you. Is it happening to me? No, then I don't care. That whole scene, it still works with him just not giving a shit. Because that's
all they need. That's all they need.
But they ruined the shock of that from what's his face doing it in the very beginning of the movie. They should have saved that scene for Zeus.
Yeah, Zack Snyder did it better. I never thought I'd say those words.
At the very beginning, when Gorg or whatever the hell, whoever, Christian Bale, Voldemort plus Leto, the Joker's love child, when he's like, "Oh, but I worship you, and now we could die," and his god is like, "I don't think so, motherfucker."
That's the cursed child. That's Bellatrix and
the cursed child. They could have saved that moment for Zeus, and it would have been more powerful. It would have been like Thor going, "Wow, y'all really don't care. We really do."
But then we wouldn't have gotten the end. But then we wouldn't have gotten the post-credit scene where they imply that Zeus will be one of the main villains moving forward.
But no, it still would have worked. That's my point. It still would have worked if they hadn't had that very beginning, because you already had the god. I don't care who you are. They could have applied that to Zeus, and then when Thor kills Zeus, and Zeus is laying there and being fingered by his chick, and he's like, "Oh, stop it, that hurts." I'm like, "Fuck off!" And then he's like, "Hercules, go do my bidding." Then it'd be like, wow, he really is a total dick cheese. But, they, again, missed opportunity. Yeah, she's sitting there, he's laying there, and she's trying to tend his wound, and she's like sticking his hand in his chest, in his wound, and he's like, "Oh, that hurts. That hurts."
Yeah, they definitely don't have a healer among the Greeks. That's definitely not a fucking thing that they have.
Not just the Greeks, every single god from every mythology across the entire
there's no
cosmos. There's not a single
healers in any
one?
mythos. Nah, no healers. Not a single one to be fucking found.
No, he's just laying there with a gaping hole in his big ol' ass chest.
Also, quick little side note. One little thing I caught, I have in my notes. As they're like, "Oh, look, there's whatever god, and there's whatever god, and there's like that stupid like onion emoji one."
Yeah,
oh my god, what
Funimation intro like animation in the fucking mythos? Like, I don't understand.
What the hell was that? But they also like point. He also like Thor like points to someone like, "Oh, look, the god of carpentry," but they don't show anybody. I'm like, is Jesus now a Marvel character?
The balls they would have had in order to fucking do that, like, because like that, I don't know if I'd go there. That's one of those like, you want to make money? Yeah, then I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, kind of thing. Don't go there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh God, have we even touched on the fucking screaming goats yet?
Yeah, we did. I did want to show y'all a better version of Zeus. There you go.
I got to say something about the goats real quick when we come back.
There we go.
There.
Zeus.
And imagine him being like 7-8 fucking feet tall and just radiating.
Yeah, and not giving a shit. Like, absolutely, like,
that would be intimidating.
Does not fucking care. It's literally like, I'm sorry, take your peasant ass fucking shit away from me.
He would not flip his skirt. Okay?
No.
He wouldn't have a skirt.
He probably wouldn't.
Battle
He'd
armor
like,
on.
bitch. Yeah.
Is that Schwarzenegger? Yes, that is.
I could see.
The
taller, brighter than all the other gods. Make him a fucking head god if that's what he is.
How
or as you were saying, Arwyn, him being more like out of shape or something, because he's like a little past his prime, still would have worked. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Robert Baratheon in Game of Thrones.
Yes,
this guy who was a fierce, strong warrior, but now because of all the decadence, he's now kind of out of shape.
Right.
That would still work if he was like 9 feet tall.
Exactly. Just make him
like,
big.
Holy cow!
Yeah, that would be intimidating, and it would make his.
Like he still has the muscle, but he's also got a bit of a punch now.
Yeah, it would make it more sinister. There was nothing sinister about the Zeus at all, or intimidating.
It's like
at all.
Like when he popped up, I'm like, oh, Russell Crowe's Zeus. Okay, that's an interesting show. What is he doing with his voice? What is going on? Why is he all effeminate?
I saw what they did, like his body, and I was just like, oh look, they didn't learn at all the fat Thor joke. We thought they did, and then they didn't at all.
They didn't.
Whoa, he's fat now, and I'm just like, really? Like, is that what we've just kind of like lowered ourselves as far as like comedy goes? To like lower your fat now? It's like,
I thought it was more. I don't know if it was more of an intentional thing or if it was just a Russell Crowe hasn't gotten the COVID weight off yet.
Oh, he definitely didn't get paid enough to fucking work out in this movie. Yeah. I really think that's what it was. You can convince.
Sure, I'll be in the movie. I ain't lifting a weights with what you're paying me. I don't think so.
Can you CGI me? Oh, we don't have that budget. Okay.
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Or they could have taken a completely different tact and have him look the way he looks, but have that scene be completely serious. Again, have Zeus be brass tacks, looking at him saying, "You know what? It's not my problem. Get out of my throne room. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I don't care. You got to clean up your own shit. You're beneath me."
Mm-hmm.
That would have had more of an impact, and then the looks wouldn't have mattered at all. You would have been like, "Okay, he means business. He's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
Zeus is not going to play with your little yuck bullshit."
Speaking of, real quick, another thing I just kind of remember thinking about. So, Christian Bale's character, Gorg, whatever the hell his name is, I honestly don't. I could
who
not.
Cares?
I couldn't even
be God Slayer or something.
I could not be bothered to remember the guy's name.
I hear you.
Care.
Yeah, it's Voldemort and Bellatrix's love child.
Yeah.
Okay,
the cursed child. That's what we're calling it. The cursed child.
You have this, possessed being who's like all sickly pale with like these weird like markings all over his face and killing gods. I'm like, is he Kratos?
Don't compare those two. Yeah, that's insulting. Kratos will kill you for that. I'm just letting you know.
I thought he looked like Kratos from God of War.
Well, there's a lot that got ripped off. There was a lot of Lord of the Rings shit that I was kind of like,
yeah.
Oh, the Necro Sword. Oh, okay, sure.
Korg ended up being the Mimir figure. Korg was essentially Mimir once he was just a fucking head or face, excuse me, because the mouth never dies. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Mm.
What?
Oh, and anyone who's seen
Full Metal, him on the back of her head with her braids. I was just like, okay, I'm done.
That's not how that works at all. He was slipped out immediately.
He tied her braids under his nose.
Because braids could hold like a stone object.
Like, I understand, Taika Waititi, that you're like aware that
the back of your head.
African American people's hair like stay a lot better, but there is a limit to how much you could believe that fucking happening. Hair is still hair at the end of the day. That thing didn't solidify into concrete. It is now just like a permanent fucking like tie. It was a one tie. She didn't even double knot it.
I know.
Didn't even double knot it.
And he's like right there, secure, helping her fight. And I'm going, and he's a rock or whatever the hell his body is made out of. I'm assuming something really heavy, like stone.
Rock. Yeah, it didn't change her fighting style at all to have that much fucking weight added to like the top half of her body. That wouldn't change anyone's fighting style.
I was dead.
To adding weight to her head, because that wouldn't throw you off.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just say something real quick about those fucking goats? Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder.
I hated them.
They reminded me. Y'all remember Tim Allen's movie, The First Santa Claus?
Yes.
Where you're introduced. It's the
oh
first
my
and the second
God.
one. When you're introduced to Chet and the reindeers.
One.
It's Chet. It's Chet.
Oh my God.
I was like, you got two screaming Chets. And let me tell you, those are supposed to be very, very powerful beings. Their screams are supposed to terrify people because they are announced the coming of a god, on the freaking ship and stuff.
But screaming goats were a funny internet meme a decade ago, so we'll just have them make that scream.
I'm like, we got two Chets that are taking them around going, ah! It's like it was constant. Mary told us about it last night. Mary Mark went to go see it. And she came back into Fortnite. And let me tell you, I have never heard Mary on such a rampage on a film in my life. She was on fire. And she could not stand these goats. And I'm like, now, were they big Norse, powerful ass goats that had a terrifying scream? She was like, no. And it was all the time. So when I watched it today, I admit I came in with a preconception. But yeah, she nailed it. They just, oh my God. There was nothing terrifying or powerful about those damn goats. They were two Chets from Tim Allen's Santa Claus. That's what they were, with horns. Big goat horns. Oh. Anyway, my rant is done on that. I just had to get those notes out because I was so triggered. Like, no.
Yeah. We talked about Sif being brought back, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard rip, just in general, to Sif as a character. It is hard to find a character in the Marvel Universe that has been misused more than hers. She is a strong, feminine warrior who fights on par with Thor. I don't know how we've gone through now 4 movies and we just still haven't fucking utilized her character at all.
Nope.
In any capacity. Like, I don't know how we've done this.
Ram Bam,
why
different
didn't
Mary.
they use her instead of why couldn't they have used her instead of Valkyrie? Or maybe had Valkyrie as a side character?
Why did we have to have Valkyrie at all?
Exactly.
That's my point. Why did we? Why couldn't they have used
Tessa Thompson is unbearable.
Terrible.
And I can't
She's absolutely terrible.
She can't act her way out of a paper bag. A wet paper bag. Like, I just don't understand why we keep dealing with her. You haven't given her a character a name. She has now been in 3 movies, and we still haven't given her character a name. Valkyrie is not the name of a character.
Yep.
Were you just not born with a name, woman? Okay, I understand you were
like
a Valkyrie, but
I think they did it like that because they treat Thor like a mantle, but that's his name. So why can't Valkyrie be both? Why can't it be her mantle and her name? Because they treat Thor that way.
Last Valkyrie, be Brunhilde or whatever.
Please, for the love of God. Yeah, they could have had Sif, and that could have been an interesting dynamic between Sif and Jane with Thor.
Yeah, like Sif was getting together with Thor, and then Thor's ex comes in and makes it awkward. Yeah, I could have been totally on par with that.
And it would have been organic. It would have worked. It would have been natural, not forced by sticking back King Valkyrie in there.
Yeah, like all of a sudden Thor's ex comes back and has Thor's powers. Yeah, that would make any woman a little bit insecure. Like Sif would have been a little insecure. That would have created some drama and organic, shit that,
And then at the end, when they have to work, the 3 of them have to work together to defeat this power. The love, the romantic love between them could have transcended into a love for survival, a love for their species, a love for humanity, a love for something. Like Sam says, there's good out there in the world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. That's a powerful love too. That's the best kind of love. It could have, and then they could have fucking done something else with the title. I don't know. It just would have been a whole better story. It would have been more mature. It would have been more adult.
But no, they needed to have new relationship and ex-relationship jokes with Stormbringer and Mjolnir.
Yes!
Yeah.
The inanimate objects!
Thank you! Oh my god!
The inanimate objects are jealous of each other. What?
Oh my god! Yes!
Holy shit. Sorry, I just realized something. Odin didn't die in battle, so he went to Hela's realm.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
He didn't die in battle, so he went to Hela's realm. So she's just like sitting there like, what do you think I'm gonna do with you, you asshole? The Valkyries are the daughters of Odin, fathered by a giantess while he was studying with her for a while. Shish. Don't fucking no. Do not give them ideas as far as making Tessa Thompson's character like one of Odin's like love child. Okay, don't do that. They will do it. Don't give them ideas. They've already done enough by like having her continue to exist and apparently run Asgard. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but how is Loki Laufeyson the best fucking ruler of Asgard in the MCU? How did that happen? How did y'all just fuck up that bad? Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie has reduced Asgard to being a community center. All right, that's what she fucking done. I don't know how she did it, but she fucking
Renaissance
did that.
Festival as I took it.
Yeah.
It's like they tried. It's like they tried to fuck up this movie.
Actually cares about the people. Yeah, he's actually a good ruler. Yeah, he's competent as fuck. Like, they was decent under Odin. It's just like it was a very fragile time of peace under Odin. Loki literally brought back a fucking Renaissance era for all of Asgard. It's just I can't. And Tessa made it into a community center.
Yep, pretty much.
Pretty much.
We've devolved. I don't know how this managed to happen, but like the big bad that was going to, destroy all of Asgard that y'all made out to be such a fucking villain is the best. Is obviously the best person. You should have had Loki rule, and you should have had Thor be his fucking general. I don't know why that was such a hard concept for everyone to get behind.
I'm with you on that. At this point, I'm totally sold out to that because Thor on his own's got issues.
Ugh. He doesn't want to rule. Thor is the fucking person at high school reunions who still thinks he's the quarterback because he throws a football in the backyard every once in a while. That is who Thor is, all right?
Yep. That's what he's been reduced down to. Yep.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Ugh. Is it that hard to write a masculine man? Is it that hard to write a feminine woman? Is it really that fucking difficult? I feel like that's like the standard. Like it's much harder to write like feminine men and masculine women. I feel like it's harder to write those characters.
It's definitely out of fashion. Feminine women and masculine men is out of fashion now. And anyone who does it is attacked.
Yes. Okay, that's funny. In 2022, I know it's so much to fucking ask.
It is.
How about this? Just write people like they're
Thor
humans.
is Al Bundy.
Oh shit!
I think even Al Bundy has more savvy than Thor does at this point.
Yeah,
I think anyone does. I think the fucking goats have more savvy. Okay.
Yeah, and that is one thing that really bothered me. Is these characters, for the most part, there were couple of scenes where you could see them trying to get those dimensions, but for the most part they were very one-dimensional, and I have a hard time relating with one-dimensional characters, even if they've been fleshed out in other movies. You can have 10 movies where one character's all fleshed out, but then at the 11th movie they're just played at surface level. It still will irritate me.
Yeah,
and that's what this was. It was surface level, everything from the writing to the costuming to the acting to the directing, all of it was very insipid.
Because
it ruined it for me. Yeah, and I love the Thor movies. I do. The first one's my absolute favorite. Then I like the second one. I didn't mind Ragnarok. Again, great popcorn movie. But this one, the only reason I would watch it again if I was doing another review and had to refresh. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
it.
see. I would rank them Ragnarok, the first Thor movie. Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna put Dark World as number 3. Why? Because at least there was somebody I enjoyed in the movie. Mm-hmm, His name's Loki Laufeyson, you fucks, okay? At least there was somebody, and I was emotionally involved. When Frigga dies in Dark World, even though Dark World is a very confusing mess,
I mean, the guy who can see literally everything doesn't see the spaceship flying by.
That's true.
Heimdall is very conveniently blind when he needs to be.
Yeah.
But her death.
Oh God. God. Heimdall's kid, I found him annoying too.
Okay, yeah. I was confused, and then I was like, "Oh no!"
I identify as Axel now. I'm going to call you by your name. Like, what the hell is this?
Me. Although, why would you name a little boy Astrid to start with? Did he say Astrid?
Yeah. Astrid is a female name.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Astrid, it's a Norse god too, a goddess.
Yes. Yes, I'm a guy now. Fuck off.
Why are they calling him Astrid? It was just another one of those
yelling
ambiguous. Let's throw this in there. Yay! Oh my God! He's sitting there trying to have this encouraging, emotional conversation with these kids, or at least should have been, aside from the yucks, but should have been trying to have this emotional, encouraging. We're gonna come get you, kids. It'll be all right, y'all. Just hang on. Thor. And fucking Valkyrie's sitting there tickling his nose with her braids.
Oh, God, I know.
We need to clarify. Okay. Heimdall fucked a bitch and spawned a daughter. And her name's Astrid. And then she apparently has some Heimdall powers. I'm not sure how that works because of...
Wait, I thought that was a little boy. Was that a little girl?
I thought Astrid is a female name. I thought that was supposed to be...
It is a female name, but I thought it was a little boy.
It was a daughter. Well, Thor keeps calling...
See, I took it as their little woke moment of Heimdall had a daughter, but now...
I'm choosing to be a boy
now. It's a boy?
My name is now Axel.
Off. That's how I interpreted it.
That's how I interpreted it,
God. I thought they were just playing with the names because it was cool. Oh, Jesus, God. Okay, I get it now. Now I'm even more pissed off.
She shaved her head and is now wanting to go by Axel, which is a guy name, versus Astrid, which is a female name. She's having her daddy moment phase. Okay, it's...
That's why I thought it was weird. This little boy was named Astrid to begin with. Oh, my God. Okay, I get it. See, just... This movie, y'all.
Now, here's the thing. It could have been just they didn't know any better with they just picked some Scandinavian name.
That's what I thought.
It didn't even bother. But I have woke PTSD now, and I now see it where it might have been innocent.
That's probably what they intended, though. And like you, I thought they just chose a name because it's New Asgard. They didn't know any better. But yeah, no, you're probably right. Because I swear to God, that was a little boy. I was looking at a little boy. Whatever. Okay. Woke points, woke titty. We're ticking off your woke points now.
I thought it was a chick.
I have no clue.
Oh, I guess it's a son.
Yeah. And I thought, why'd they name him Astrid? Oh, well, okay. He wants to go by Axel. He wants a name change because he's been in New Asgard. He's in New Asgard now. I don't know.
Astrid is a feminine name, given name of Scandinavian origin, derived from this old Norse name, whatever. A compound name composed of the elements God and beautiful / fair. What a fucking masculine name to name your fucking child, Heimdall. That's why I thought it was a woman, because I know for a fact that Astrid is a chick name. So I thought that was a girl.
That's why I was confused. And then he's like, I want to be Axel. And I thought Axel was a tribute to, because they use so many Guns N' Roses songs.
Oh, thanks for protecting my son. Okay, so Heimdall's just a fucking idiot and named his son a chick name. Yeah, I can't blame the son for wanting to be named Axel.
Oh my god, this whole thing. It could just go either way.
My name as a a little boy. Can you imagine a little boy fucking running around with a name that means beautiful fair? Like, he's asking to get bullied. I don't blame him now for wanting to fucking be named Axel. I was just under the impression being his given name was Astrid, which is very well known as being a feminine name. And he would have, Heimdall definitely would have fucking known that. I don't know why okay, that's stupid. That was such a stupid fucking moment.
The whole thing was
so they just didn't do research when they named the kid.
Axel without even the E. Oh, he's edgy. He's going through his edgelord phase.
Oh, good God.
Gonna fucking wear goth makeup next. The horror.
Okay,
anyway.
So weird. Sorry.
And I stopped taking notes at this point, so I'm just gonna have to fly by my mind, fly by my memory.
Can we just admire
I give up.
The fact that
don't care.
Valkyrie's entire character is, I was once a Valkyrie. I now drink to forget my problems, and then occasionally I will accidentally fall into a situation in which I have to do something. That has been her character for 3 movies now, and she doesn't even have a name. I don't even think I can consider that a dimension. I think that's half of one. Because in this movie, she still drinks. She was clearly an alcoholic in Ragnarok, so that's kind of super concerning that the leader of the Asgardian people is an alcoholic. So that's worrying.
But you put her in a suit and call her king, and then she's all that. That's all they need to do. Put her in a suit.
Alcoholism can just vanish. It doesn't fucking follow you for the rest of your life. It just goes poof. Oh, whatever. Yeah. When I'm not drinking, I'm not in
braids. Then she's done. She's ready. Ugh. The cringe serial of this film. It's just that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. The name change.
It's played by a boy. Okay. Yeah. Then that was just stupid. That was a stupid fucking moment. Then don't name the kid Astrid. Heimdall, you've been around for a while. You knew that was a feminine name. Fuck off. I don't. That's infuriating. That's so dumb. Don't name your kid something stupid. Okay. What are you, a Hollywood actor?
Idris Elba desperately needs a better agent.
Yes, get that man something decent, okay? He's so talented, right? Like Patrick Stewart and fucking Anthony Hopkins and Tony Todd and all these other fuckers that I absolutely adore. Stop putting them in shitty movies. There has to be better things out there for them. There has to be. I was a Valkyrie in a drunken disaster, and so, yeah, I don't... Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Let's see. Who gives a shit about Thor and Jane? I'm serious. Who gives a shit? Did anybody did anybody else, and we'll get to the end of the movie here in a minute, did anybody else get the feeling, like, more and more as this movie went on, Natalie Portman was drugged into this movie, kicking and screaming and clawing at the fucking ground.
Yes.
Natalie Portman has said in interviews a couple years ago that she still has one more movie left on the deal, but they haven't contacted her, and so she's going about her career.
So
I think I think it was like, as far as I know, they have no more plans for the character, so I'm not really focused on that. So I think it was now we still have Natalie Portman under contract for one more film. Let's get her.
Let's get her.
Oh, she did not want to be in this movie. You can't convince me she wanted to be in this movie.
I mean, even compared to like the other 2 films, she didn't feel like the same character at all. Completely ignoring the fact of the.
Oh God, yeah. There was she was one-dimensional. Inconsistent in her one-dimensionality.
Mm-hmm.
Totally inconsistent. You're right. I haven't thought about that. But she was not the same in any of them.
No.
But still just surface. Still surface.
Yeah. I never thought I'd say this, but she did better in Dark World.
Yeah, and she was basically just damsel. She was basically just a damsel in Thor 2.
And fucking damsels have their place. We can't all be badass warriors. Some of us can be damsels. There's no shame in that. We're not all the same.
I will laugh at you though for being a damsel.
That's okay. I'm all right with that. But I'll you know what? I'll get saved in the end, and I'll be happy. So it's all good.
As long as I get my goal.
It's
and here's something though. How about so she's a scientist now. Stop laughing because I know it's hard to remember that she's a scientist because even at the very beginning she doesn't seem sciencey at all. Even when she's like talking to the nerd that she's getting chemo done with.
Oh God, to Darcy.
Definitely.
Yeah, Darcy had to show up.
She definitely feels like she was part of the newspaper club and not the fucking science club.
Yeah.
Yes. She was like the head writer. Like pretending to be Lois Lane in high school.
Or even
that's what I got.
Something.
Yeah. Exactly.
But anyway. So her character is a scientist. So how about she starts to hear Mjolnir contacting her.
Uh-huh.
So but it's all shattered and in multiple pieces. Instead of just having the magic of Mjolnir just reassemble itself, how about she uses her science knowledge to come up with a way to reforge it that the magic couldn't, so
it's called super glue.
See, I would have found that it would have made more sense than that it responded to her if she had done that.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense that there would have been a bonding there for all intents and purposes. You know what I mean?
And it would have given her something to do other than just smash things in this movie.
Or
there would have been more investment.
Right.
But
vagina smash.
Chain smash.
And it she starts to she hears the shards calling her, and so she just goes to New Asgard to look at the shards. Why? Why does she do that? Just because she hears it calling to her?
Yeah, it just called to her.
On the edge of night.
Wouldn't call Thor, calls to her. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Mark, love didn't conquer all.
No, actually,
because she dies.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, at the end of the movie, if anyone watches this and has seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or just Full Metal Alchemist in general, they totally fucking ripped that off at the end. Mm-hmm. There's, you know what I'm talking about when they go to they do the thing and thing, and they go to the place and there's that door with the thing and I don't want to give too much away for people who haven't seen it, but it's just that was there and I was just like, why the fuck is there a galaxy sitting here with Hela's helmet? And what is this Full Metal Alchemist bullshit? And what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That feels very two-dimensional. You very obviously had a fucking white paper backdrop that they used in photography and had a cutout from a green screen. Yeah. And they just put CGI footage of a galaxy in there.
Sparkly stars.
It was so two-dimensional that it made me question my existence for a moment. I was like, how much money did you spend on this? Because you didn't even bother to make it 3D at all. This was so two-dimensional. I just, how? It's not impressive. It's not. I don't even really understand what that thing was. It just fucking space Buddha chilling there.
Wishmaker. Rub its belly. And get good luck.
Got a fucking talk to it, and it grants you a wish because you got all 7 Dragon Balls, and you know you can bring something back.
Okay, hold on. Before we get to the eternity wish thing, because I have something to point out on that.
Okay.
I do want to address here. Okay, Chris is right. Yes, it was Jane that worked out how to create the portals for the ship. I completely forgot about that.
She doesn't, by the way. I'll let you. We'll tell you her fate is. That's why the fate of Jane Foster in this movie. Very much. Y'all don't give a shit. I know none of you in the chat give a shit. Okay, don't act like you give a shit. You don't give a shit. All right, you know. You know.
None of y'all
will
care.
Tell you. Will tell you. Okay, very much obvious why I think Natalie Portman didn't want to do this movie. And I think
she was contractually obligated to, basically, because I think she's like, she's done.
One I don't more, think we'll. That's I don't.
Dude, she was done after the first one. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Dude.
Are we at the end of? Can we talk about the title?
Well, no, we're not there yet.
Not quite there yet.
No.
All right. Oh wait, Josh, you had something to say about the wish, the eternity wish.
Okay, well,
we have to go through the unsaturated fucking bullshit that happened. Okay, with Thor's BDSM fetish. Okay.
Oh, that part.
And very, very conveniently, did Christian Bale just leave his plans out for them to find?
Yeah. Yes. Hey, don't go in that room. That's my plan room. Please don't fucking go there, where you can actually see and read and very detailed and with a storyboard attached to it exactly what I'm planning on doing. And
the storyboard that flat out knows that Stormbringer has the Bifrost now.
It's an attachment.
Yeah.
Slap that bitch on there. Okay. All right, I actually have Stormbringer. I should bring it out.
But. Yeah, when he walked off with both those weapons, I was like, "Fuck all the way off."
I mean,
God.
Well, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Stormbringer has the same properties that Mjolnir has. So shouldn't no one else be able to pick it up?
One would think. And
no,
one would think it would be able to go off on its own to Thor, but no, it got dragged through the ground.
The bad guy was able to take it from him.
Yeah.
So, but shouldn't it now be like it completely immovable?
Don't think too hard about this.
This is breaking my brain.
Also, just saying, if Stormbringer has all the properties of Mjolnir, then Mjolnir should also have the ability to control the Bifrost. And if that's the fucking case, then there is no... Then the Bifrost basically being destroyed at the end of the first Thor movie, that wasn't really a consequence of anything. Thor just had to be your chauffeur if you wanted to leave. That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
Like that, it's just mildly inconvenient for like a little bit until we can magically put this together again, or something.
Pretty much
has its own enchantment on it that was not put on Stormbreaker.
Okay.
I
don't know why you wouldn't put that enchantment on it, but whatever.
I'd slap that puppy on there. Oh maybe it's like, okay, maybe Mjolnir is like PS1. And Stormbreaker is like a DLC exclusive to like the PS2, and it doesn't work on the PS1.
Right.
So maybe that's it. Yeah.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah. So maybe that's it. And it does not hand out wishes. He's not a fucking genie. Don't.
Oh, tell me about it.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
One half of the. Oh, he's actually a character.
Yes. Eternity is a character in the comics.
Okay, I will tell you this without fucking having read the comics at all. There's no way they did the character justice.
No, I agree completely.
No planet, like no way.
I'm like, you find this thing and get a wish. Okay.
Also, what happened to him when he when Thanos did his little snap and half the universe died.
Food for thought.
What? I mean, if he's half the universe, I mean, how did that affect him? I don't.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Also, having properties of five tracks and captivation to Odin would place some restrictions on who can wield Mjolnir. Apparently, Odin didn't, except for those who have Vag that are powerful. I think that was like underneath. Like you have to like that's underneath like the leather on the handle. You got to like unwrap that shit in order to read that. You know, crack that shit open like a fortune cookie kind of thing. Because Hela and Thor can both do it. Now, Hela wielding it makes sense because she's the elder sister, right? Technically, she was the wielder of it before. Which is kind of odd in and of itself because, again, I got the feeling that Mjolnir was definitely like a lightning rod kind of thing. Hela was definitely more of a mage than she was like a hard hitter like Thor. So I don't really know. It's like Falcon with the shield, with Captain America's shield. Like, your entire fighting style doesn't really match this weapon that you've acquired, right. But I guess I'll have it. Like, I don't know what else I'm going to do with it, right? Dad's going to get offended if I put it up in my room, in my closet. So I guess I'll just wear it into battle and not use it. Whatever, I guess. It's Stormbreaker, not Stormbringer. No! It's both and neither. It's whatever. I haven't been saying Stormbreaker. Funny, Stormbringer actually makes more sense as a axe.
That wasn't that? Oh, who the hell was he? Elric. Wasn't that his weapon? Ram Bam.
Stormbreaker. See, Stormbreaker. I don't know. Stormbringer actually makes more sense. Like the name of a weapon Thor wields, because it's like it brings the storm.
It does.
It doesn't.
I don't know much about the Elric series, but that does sound familiar.
Mine makes more sense, so I'm sticking with it, even if I'm inaccurate.
Stormbreaker?
They're not accurate to the material. Why do I have to be?
You damn straight.
That's fair point.
Who cares? Wee.
Marvel. Yeah. Look up Marvel. Marvel and Infinity. Okay. Eric isn't a sword hammer. I don't fucking know.
No, yeah, his sword is not a hammer. Yeah.
So here's a question. They need the Bifrost, right?
Uh-huh.
In order to like get to eternity?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So just teleport there.
No.
Like, why did they need that stupid boat? Because Stormbreaker was acting up.
Screaming goats. They had to have the screaming goats in there.
But then it was still used without any issue later. It's like, what was the point?
You're thinking logically. Stop.
I'm sorry.
You're thinking logically. You're making my brain hurt. You're making too much sense.
That's true.
Just shut up and watch the movie and eat your popcorn, plebes.
Yeah.
No.
Losers. What are you doing here giving us money? What the fuck?
Peasants, just watch our movie and don't ask questions.
Oh. So, okay. We're jumping everywhere, but basically we're kind of towards the middle end portion of the movie. We have the unsaturated. Literally, they fucking hit the color saturation button and brought it all the fuck the way down.
Right, because they were in the Shadow Realm, which I guess made some sense.
Yeah. Shadow Dimension.
This is the Wizard of Oz pre-Oz.
Right? They lost a Yu-Gi-Oh card game match, and they got brought to the fucking Shadow Dimension. All right? Yeah. It's just hard rip. They had a beginner's deck. They didn't stand a chance. All right?
Yeah.
And then there's like a little BDSM moment, and it's very odd and uncomfortable for everyone involved.
It's so creepy.
And you become very hyper aware that Christian Bale was just basically told to act like the Joker while also being Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange's love child. And like once the one problem I had with the makeup was once you realize that's Christian Bale. You can't not see him as just Christian Bale.
Right.
Because they didn't put enough makeup to differentiate him enough. You know, like, I do not consider, who's the bad guy in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie? I'm blanking on his name.
Ronan.
Yeah, I don't see Ronan and Dandriel as being the same fucking person.
No shit.
Are, okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shit. Yes,
like,
that was amazingly done. Yes.
I just, it's very just... It wasn't enough. Usually I applaud the makeup team, and generally speaking, is like the people who do the best job on the movie sets, in my opinion. They didn't really in this one. I didn't understand really what he was going for. Like, he's the god butcher. I actually looked it up. He's not the slayer, he's the butcher. And I just... Like, if you're gonna have the name God Butcher, could you butcher some gods? Like, I mean, I'm serious. Like, your name is God Butcher. Could you butcher them? You don't actually have to play with them like some fucking serial killer. All right?
Just go and do your job. You got a job to do.
Them.
Do it.
Yeah.
Get it done.
But I'm waiting for it. I am Batman. Well, he kind of did the reverse Batman. He was in all white.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I could not vibe with that. I'm like, Christian Bale, how far are we fallen? And I get it. He's an actor, working actor, get a paycheck. Fine. And a lot of his performance probably did have to do with the director and, you know, the way they wanted to take him. But... unfortunately, he's the one who takes the fall for it because he's the one who produced it. Ultimately, that's what people are going to see. And it fell so flat.
How about the scene where he rips the head off of that snake for no real reason?
My God.
Like, what's the point of this? I was
thinking,
scare the children because I'm a bad guy.
Twirls mustache. Like,
it was like some twisted kid show. It was weird and creepy and but it was out of place. It was out of place to the way they had shown his character before. That character was all over the map.
Let me set a scene for you. Okay, you have Zeus being a very serious, huge, fucking 10 feet tall, like gigantic, fucking ripped but thick boy. Okay, ripped with a dad bod. How about that? Okay, you got all right. He's fucking. You know, you actually have the Olympians like in their fucking like actual like positions that every other depiction of the Olympians is shown in, which is like the rows and whatever. And he comes to them and he's like, "Hey, we got a fucking problem," and he tries to talk to him, and then he has to get like a private meeting, and they have a one-on-one, and Zeus lets down this charismatic persona and becomes this fucking asshole that we know of him from the mythos. And he's like, I don't give a shit. That sounds like a you problem. And just doesn't fucking care at all. And then you have the God Butcher, you know, the guy called the God Butcher, that one, actually comes to Olympus, where all the gods are, right? So you've invited the gods for a fucking conference, and why would the God Butcher not show up? They're all in the same place. Why would the God Butcher not show up? You can just fucking wipe them all out right there, right?
And then we could have seen some kick-ass battle between Thor and him, and all. I mean,
all the gods. Think
all
of
of
all
them.
The different gods from all these different mythos fucking fighting it out, and you realize and you establish with that battle scene that he is fucking devastating as far as his power
that he's
goes.
a problem. He's a problem.
Yeah, like you're not just gonna fucking kick his ass with like a couple of you've gotta actually like, and you collaborate, and you have this weird kind of like collaboration between all these different mythos, or who's left, because he fucking wipes out at least a decent chunk of them.
That would have been powerful.
Yeah,
that would have been.
You call this
powerful.
man a god butcher. You gotta show him butchering gods on like at least a somewhat decent scale, or else he doesn't. That name doesn't mean anything to me. Like it's basically you've told me that he's butchered gods, but you haven't shown it to me. So like put all that in this fucking like arena, right? And just have at it. Have at it, like him devastate, rain destruction, really sell him as being a bad guy to be feared, right? And then you have them all kind of group up together and, and take like their chariots and what have you to there. You can have Hades come along and he can make a joke about how he reminds him of someone. And it's like, he's totally like the male version of Hela. Like just like little jokes like that you're kind of like nods to like the mythos. And you can have like Zeus and Thor have like a dick measuring contest with their lightning, but it's actually like somewhat serious but playful, but not like a complete fucking joke, right?
Yeah, kind of like a Gimli Legolas moment.
Yeah,
just a moment.
Exactly.
Just a moment. Yeah,
exactly.
See that. But
so
right
like,
now, go ahead.
This
is so much better than what we got.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then, like, have them go and actually, like, try to attack him at, like, on his planet, but he's waiting for them. He wipes out a few more, right? And then Zeus dies. We have Zeus actually die somewhat, like, heroically, but not really. I can't really just like throw out like how he would die, but kind of in this not really self-sacrifice, but kind of this begrudging respect to save Thor. And then you have to come up with a plan. Like, we have way less fucking resources. We cannot like do that again. So we have to wait till he's at his weakest to attack him. And then you kind of lay the movie out a little bit as it was in the rest of the movie. But
it would have made more sense with Jane being involved, because it would be like an all hands on deck situation.
Yes. All the gods have to fucking deal with this, because he will kill, and he has shown that he can wipe all these fucking these assholes out at once. Yeah. And he is an overwhelming force. He is the God Butcher. He is an overwhelming force. And he has enough sacrifices, goes to the eternity thing, right? Whatever the fuck he wants to, however you want to put that. But at the end credit scene, you have Hercules, not told because Zeus is dead. You don't have Zeus like unleashing him like he's some fucking hellhound, right? That he's taking off the leash. You have him blame Thor for the death of his father for dragging him into this, right? Yeah. And have a misunderstood reasoning for why he thinks Thor is the bad guy, and then you end it and have the credits. There you go. I just fixed your movie, you stupid assholes.
Completely fixed the movie. Jane still could have croaked. Valkyrie could still keep her.
No, Jane has to die.
That's what I mean. Jane could have croaked. Yeah. She still could have died.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah, that would have been so much better than what we got.
But that would have
taken thought and talent and time and effort that they obviously did not have for this piece of shit movie.
Well, that's kind of convenient. Apparently, so I described something that was good that they had, but they didn't do. So look, it's another thing that they had that they didn't do. Isn't that exciting? Shiva fight, yeah, exactly. So we all know the cost of using the ultimate. That's what I think. Jane, if they were going to do something like that, Jane Foster should have been the one to do it. And Thor was going to sacrifice himself, but then Jane does it because she knows that she's basically like dead already.
She's dying. Anyway.
By the way, Jane Foster dies in this. I can guarantee you she dies because Natalie Portman refused to come back unless they killed her. I'd put money on that, actually.
Well, I don't know about that, actually.
Really? You don't think Natalie Portman asked him to kill off her character so she couldn't get drugged back?
No, I think it's more, I'm under contract, I'm contractually obligated to come back. I'm not re-signing.
And I'm not going to renew it. Yeah, I'm not going to renew my contract anymore.
So kill me off. So I can't. So you can't.
She doesn't have to. She doesn't have to say that. It could be Marvel that goes, okay, we will kill you off your character then, since we can't do anything more with you.
All right. whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jane Foster fucking
done.
dies. So
yeah,
and then she gets to go to Valhalla, which pissed me off.
Yay!
Because she didn't die in battle, and that's not how that works.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not like she was a freaking ring bearer. Yes, she did wield his power for a while. The power of the power of the hammer. I can't say the power of Thor. I get it. It's the power of Thor,
but she did not die in battle.
She did not die in battle.
She died from cancer.
Yeah. Valhalla is not Grey Havens. You don't just carry it for a while and then okay, you can go. No, you have to die in battle.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen.
I just
wait a minute. Wait, so because did we skip Thor giving his powers to children that he could just do now?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, that bunny rabbit scene was just so terrifying.
Oh,
these shadow demons that have been giving these Asgardians trouble are now fighting children Asgardians, and they're kicking their asses.
Mm-hmm.
Which
did you know Thor can just spread his power like an STD to everyone around him?
Apparently he can.
He can just now I'm fine with Thor being able to do that. It's just he's just suddenly able to do that.
Right.
Which if you're able to do that, why not just, hey, parents, we found your children. Let me give you the powers of Thor and we can all fight for your kids right now.
Not you, parents. I want the children. You know the things that you were trying to get back this entire fucking time? Yeah, I'm going to take them away again.
I mean,
I'm going to send them into battle. They have no battle experience, by the way, at all. They have no fucking experience.
They sure knew how to leap into that battle. I was like, wow.
I can leap into a battle. That doesn't mean I'm not going to instantly fucking die, okay? Anyone can just jump into a battle, all right?
They did, didn't they? They were ready to go from the ground up, and I'm like, damn, if it was that easy, why the hell didn't you do it before?
Yeah, I mean, Arwyn, you're a parent. If you knew that, okay, this guy can give me superpowers and I can go fight for my children's lives, are you taking it or just let the children fight it?
No, I'd be the first one in line. Damn straight.
As would every parent.
As would every single parent. You're damn straight. But nope, it was the kids.
Don't you fucking love that Thor can give his powers to anyone? We've never seen that in any other fucking iteration of Thor in this Marvel and this MCU. We haven't seen that. It definitely gives me Wonder Woman 1984 vibes, where she can just all of a sudden like make things invisible, and then everyone forgets that's a thing that she can do.
Yeah. It was just
including herself.
Convenience. It was just a plot point convenience.
We want to have her.
That didn't work, in my opinion. That didn't work. But
jumping into a fight and surviving a fight are two different things. You can jump into a fight and survive a fight, but you don't have to not every time you jump into a fight means you're going to survive.
But how many of us can jump like 100 feet in the friggin' air? I mean, they were literally jumping into the
I can't remember the last time I jumped, so
I was like, wow, they've got Thor's power. They're ready to rock and roll it. Oh my God, there's some of it. She's swinging the bunny around. Whee! With the lightning coming out of her eyes and through the rabbit, the toy rabbit. And the little princess girl, la la la, like she's dancing around the maypole, but she's slaughtering these things. No, at that point, my belief had been suspended a little too much. I'm like,
oh
okay.
My God. I just thought of something. So eventually Valkyrie has to fucking die, right? So who's going to be her successor? Because on no planet do I think she's going to reproduce. Like, no. No.
Oh, she's not reproducing the natural way at all anyway. I mean, that was made very obvious. We were all like, yeah, we know. We get it. We get it. We get it. We get it.
So.
But yeah, I don't know about that.
It just came completely out of nowhere.
Yeah, no.
And I mean, the idea of bestowing your powers onto someone else is in Thor mythology. So it's not that I have an issue with that. It's just it came completely out of nowhere.
Yeah, it literally didn't happen. I wouldn't be shocked if, well, this is assuming Thor continues to be a part of the MCU. I'm actually surprised that he still is. But I don't like it when a movie's just like, all of a sudden this character that you've known for years can do this power that he's never done before. Can you think of any times where it would have been really convenient for him to have given someone his lightning powers on the fly? Like can anyone think of any times?
How about giving every single person in the battle at the big battle in Infinity War, if every single one of them had Thor's abilities, that would have been kind of useful.
Okay. I'm sorry I mentioned Wonder Woman 1984 because that movie enrages me. Okay. This movie didn't. This movie was, I wish you were more cringe so I could have actually laughed. I didn't really laugh, I don't think. Kind of just made me go, okay. I remember you go back and watch the original Thor and the ooh and ah of Asgard that they managed to keep in the second one and in the third one. Obviously Asgard explodes, right? But the fourth one, I do love me some pretty colors, some pretty bright, saturated colors, which they did a lot of in this movie. I'm a big sucker for that. I love the contrast. I love that. Whoever did the cinematography, coloring, and shit, props to you. I don't really have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with the CGI. I have an issue with the script. I have an issue with a lot of the dialogue and the lack of character development. We're really just treading water when it comes to Thor at this point. They don't know what to do with him. It's very apparent.
No, they really don't. They really don't.
But I can't get into Wonder Woman 1984 because I will rage. This movie did not make me rage. I was very just okay, all right, I guess. Which I get this weird feeling deep in my soul that that's how I'm gonna feel about a lot of Marvel movies. Basically, from now until they decide to stop ending them. I know there were people out there that were like, I really, really, I really like those other ones, and but I don't like the cringe of Marvel and whatever. I understand there were people like that, and I think at the beginning and kind of towards the middle a little bit, they lost their way a little bit. At the end, they kind of were like, okay, well, we put a bow on it, and then they unraveled that bow, and they keep giving me shit. But I just wanted that one. I just wanted that one present to be completed. That they keep slapping other bows on it. It was a nice, neat, perfect bow, and now they're getting those sticky ones, and they just go slap, 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 and just I'm done with it. And
if these movies had been in this, if all the Thor movies were in the same vein, I'd be like, okay, this is a choice. This is a producer choice. This is a director choice. The yuck factor. That's what we've gotten from the Thor movies. But we didn't. They started out being what they were meant to be. Yes, and they have devolved into this comedic, ha ha ha.
They wanted.
I'm woman. I could do anything better than you can do, man.
They tried to turn Thor. They tried to turn the Thor films into Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes. Yeah, and it's not. It is not that, and not even. They did not even take the same care and the same direction that they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. They just shortcutted it, and it did not work for this film.
No.
And that's why I'm so irritated at it, because I see what it could have been, and it just fell so damn short.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, all of the pain that Thor as a character has undergone was all treated with a joke, as opposed to having him actually deal with it.
He was just a laughingstock.
Yes, he's treated like a bumbling buffoon when we know he's a pretty serious guy. And
at least he was.
He was. That's the thing. He was.
Mm-hmm. He was the butt of everyone's jokes. He's the title character of this
stick in the mud.
Yes. He was. He was like the Gaston without the supreme Gaston ego of Beauty and the Beast in his own film. That's what I got out of that. He was the joke. He was supposed to be the heroic joke. The lead character, Thor. And it did not work for me. It did not work for me. I was just irritated and annoyed and bored, and I'm like, why'd y'all do that to Thor? Y'all mistreated my boy.
I also have a question about the whole.
I might have an answer.
42.
42.
But I also have a question about the whole the eternity being. So they flat out say that it will grant a wish to whoever first discovers it. Well, how do they know that? Doesn't that mean someone discovered him once before?
No. Shh. Don't worry about it. It's fine. This is my moonfall defense. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It'll be fine. It's all good. Yeah. Reasons. Yeah, I guess whoever first found it made their wish and is living happily as a king somewhere on an island with a lot of money and gold and women, and that who knows?
You mean Zeus?
Who knows? I was thinking more of the Dread Pirate Roberts, but okay. From Princess Bride, who ends up retiring and living on an island as a king. I mean, that would make as much sense as this entire movie.
This was just this to me. If I described this movie to somebody, I would say this is one of those filler episodes that you watch because you want to watch every episode in the series when you first watch it. But when you rewatch the series, you skip it. Because in the end of everything, literally nothing changed.
This is one of the episodes in Dragon Ball where people are just waiting around because Goku and Gohan are in the Eternal Chamber training for a year in that one day. Yeah. This is one of those episodes where you're just like, can we just get to the fight with Cell, please?
Yeah. I know I'm supposed to give a shit about these two, but I mean, really, Vegeta's where it's at. Okay. Let's be honest with ourselves. Vegeta's where it's at. All right. So, why did you have to ask this question, Josh? Don't ask why he has to ask questions.
Questions
my question about how did people know about that thing?
MCU Piccolo told them. That makes total sense to me now.
Okay. But wait, wouldn't that mean Piccolo knows about him and therefore would have got what he would have had the wish?
God, it's so fucking real. The longest 5 minutes ever.
The planet will be destroyed in 5 minutes.
20 episodes later. We're still not even halfway into 5 minutes, but okay, sure. What is your favorite DBZ character? Vegeta's fine. I'm a Vegeta fan.
I have to agree. I have to go with Vegeta as well.
Vegeta's my fucking dude. Gohan is pretty cool.
Closely followed by Yamcha.
Fuck Yamcha. And I'm glad the show agreed with fuck Yamcha. God damn it, man. That character was so competent. He was like the bad boy, then he just became a fucking joke. Just
I love that he had
paradox, Josh. It's not his fault things are badly written.
I'm sorry I noticed problems in the movie.
Yeah, God, don't apologize for that.
All they had to do was simply say that there's this being that if you encounter it, you get a wish. And we have to beat him to there, and we have to beat him there. Otherwise, he'll get a wish, and he'll destroy all of us before that. Why did it have to be the first person who ever discovers it? Because then that just raises the question: how do people know about that myth then?
How do they know?
It's like, and nobody survived. Okay, then who told you that story?
Yeah, that nobody survived. There had to have been a survivor, or nobody would know about it.
Or that story's bullshit. Those are your only two options. Either somebody survived and told you, or none of that's true because it's fucking bullshit.
Yep, or everything is just
Lol
conjecture.
Yamcha. That is the only correct response in regards to Yamcha. Lol Yamcha. Yeah, fuck Yamcha. Yeah, Dragon Ball Super is fine. The ending pissed me off. The fact that literally all these stakes that had actually been risen, and you're like, oh my god, they actually rose stakes and they're going to commit to them, and then they didn't fucking commit to them at all. And they completely undid everything because...
Yeah.
Whatever, I guess. But Dragon Ball Super did introduce my favorite character in Dragon Ball history. Vegeta's technically number 2. Wiz is my favorite character. He literally just dodges so good.
Is that the dude who
Angel?
Looks like,
yeah,
is that the guy
the angel that trained.
He has giant pantaloons and has like the giant staff with Barris. Yeah. Okay.
He's the guy that trained Bear. Yeah, I fucking love Wiz. This is great. He's literally just like, I'm here to eat food, and I don't care after that. And I can agree with that wholeheartedly.
That's fair.
As a character. So I'm here to be sassy and eat food and whatever. That's a great character. So that's not how eternity works. Well, who are you to tell this movie how characters and other things that are based on this thing it should work, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know why they brought eternity into this.
I don't either.
This is like some really like big brain, like crisis kind of shit that they did in DC. Like, there are certain things you can't really do in movies because the amount of shit you would have to put into it is so much, and there's so much backstory to all these different things that are occurring that have led to this point, that if you just throw some big like universe changing shit in there without building it up, people don't understand the magnitude of what they're dealing with. As far as I have seen, the MCU is the closest thing I've to a live action version of like a cinematic experience that had all these different plot lines actually converge onto one big like universe changing event. Right? They actually somewhat accomplished that. That is incredibly difficult to do because people age and they get tired of things. So to try to keep them around for like 20 movies is insane, right? To keep them going after like 10 years of work, that's really difficult. So I applaud them for that, but now they're fucking with the multiverse, right? They started fucking with the multiverse. Now they're fucking with this cosmic level shit, eternity, right? It's she's tied to the Infinity Stones. Well, those things are fucking gone as far as I was concerned. So, they but I don't think they have the capacity to do what they did again. And they're going to confuse the shit out of normies. A multiverse by itself is a confusing ass concept to try to show on a big screen. So to try to actually try to show that over the course of multiple movies is and all the build up to these cosmic level shit, like it is. I think they're just gonna fall flat on their face. I really don't see the MCU lasting for more than, I'll give them 10 years to be generous. I'll give them 10 years.
That is generous. I give them less, but that is generous.
2030. I think the MCU is going to be dead by 2030.
They could turn it around, but it would take some major restructuring and a total gutting of what they have now. and just a complete rebrand and redirection. But I don't see them doing that because that would take a hell of a lot of money and talent and dedication and just everything that we're not getting right now, particularly from like this film.
Yes.
And y'all know me, I don't have a problem with a good popcorn movie. It doesn't have to be the deepest or most serious it could be just a good film.
Yeah. We all thoroughly enjoyed Moonfall.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd watch it again. But this wasn't even a good popcorn film for me. This was just pretty much a smack in the face to the Thor they established.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't have Loki or Hela. What the fuck am I supposed to watch? Thor?
You know,
what is this?
Yeah, they established this character. It's not like it's a different franchise or it's just coming out of the blue and we're being overly picky. They set the foundation for this shit. And you can see, how far they've fallen. But I gotta go get my son.
All right. You want to show your shit and go? We're almost done, honestly. So I know.
So Arwyn, real quick, what would you what would you give this movie? Like a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. What would you score this film?
Out of 10.
Up to you.
All right, I'll be.
How many boxes of wine would you give?
Oh, well, out of 5 fingers, I'd give it 1. The middle one, y'all know that. That's my rating right there. I'll give it a 2 only because I enjoyed the songs that they chose, but I thought they were horribly misused. I thought the music was misused. Again, they were going for Guardians, and it did not work because if you noticed in Guardians of the Galaxy, the soundtrack that they're playing actually has a place in the film.
Yes.
It's their background. It's Peter's music.
Exactly. It's tied to Peter.
It's its own character. You know, in the second movie where you got Rocket who's fixing shit, you got those guys coming through the trees trying to get him. He's humming the song that he's playing.
Yes.
Everything has a reason and a purpose. These were just, member-berry songs thrown in for nostalgia. And while I love the music, it didn't work. It did not achieve what they were trying to do. So yeah, I'll give it a 2 just for that. But this movie was a joke to me. Maybe that's what they intended, but that's why I'm so irritated.
They did. It was just not a joke that anyone was supposed to laugh at, apparently.
Yeah. So that's my rating. I wish I could stay because I want to talk some more. But Shilling, in a little bit, I'll be on I think Rambling streaming Fortnite. I'll be on there, and
you fucking Fortnite.
Let's see. God, I need to check my phone and my thing because I don't know if there's anything else coming up. Anyway, y'all just look for me. I'll be around. Around
somewhere. If someone's streaming, she might be on it.
Yeah, pretty much. So we'll see. But anyway, I love y'all. Mwah, 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 mwah. Y'all have fun. Enjoy.
You're okay, Arwyn.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, Arwyn.
Enjoy Screaming Goats.
I like that she left and cut her own self off. That was pretty great.
That was good.
God, what would I rate this movie? I don't think I'd go as low as a 2. I've seen some really shitty movies. Wonder Woman 1984 was like a 1. So I'm trying to balance this out. It wasn't anywhere close to Wonder Woman 1984 to me.
No.
If we're talking objectively, that's a whole different other score than just how I enjoy it.
I'd probably go
on an enjoyment scale, I would give it like a 4.
Enjoyment
it's right in the middle. The enjoyment objective scale, it's like a mix. It's my subjective objective scale. Which means nothing now.
As far as from an overall film is in terms of storytelling, and just being a movie, 3.5, 4 around there.
Yeah, I gave it a 4. Yeah.
As far as pure enjoyment from the film, that's really low. Like I was bored throughout most of it.
It's like I don't know if I even. This is one of those movies. You know how I felt about the Batman, where I thought it was like so like that I didn't even really bother with it at all as far as talking about it. This movie was disappointing. I really thought this was going to be so cringy and so funny. And I didn't get it. I didn't get that at all. I didn't get my wish for it to be a cringe fest of hilarity. Like the first season of Batwoman. Okay? That's what I look at. When I look at cringe fests that are super funny, season 1 of Batwoman. Yeah.
I will say it was better than I anticipated. But my standards, I was expecting it to be rock bottom terrible, and it's not.
Yes, it wasn't.
I have no intention of ever watching it again because it wasn't bad enough to be enjoyable. It didn't cross that threshold of it's so bad I enjoyed it, like Moonfall is, or The Room, or Birdemic. It didn't have. That's what I was hoping it would be. That's what I was expecting.
Too.
It's not that.
Same.
It's not that bad.
No, it's so disappointing with how okay it is. Like I didn't hate this movie. That's why I can't give it a super low score. I hated Wonder Woman 1984. That thing pissed me off.
I hated Black Widow.
Widow.
Hated Black Widow.
Black Widow was very frustrating to me. I don't know if it made me mad, but not to the level of 1984. Because Black Widow was just like this. I have been waiting for this for fucking years, and this is what you delivered to me. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I was waiting for this movie, but not like I was waiting. Black Widow, I was so fucking excited for Black Widow. I wanted that since I got a taste of her origin story in Age of Ultron. All right? I was so pumped for it. And this one, I was pumped for the cringe. And they couldn't even really give me cringe. Like, good, like, tasty cringe. Where it's like, yes, feed it to me. I will devour all of your cringe. I want to leave the room because I'm cringing so hard, right? But I'm also laughing because you want me to take this very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Moonfall hit that perfect mix. It's a masterpiece in the so bad it's good category. And I feel like Moonfall accidentally raised my expectations for what this movie was going to be. I should have known just by the commercials, which the only reason I saw the commercials is because I've gone to a few movies recently. So you can't fast forward them in the movie theater, which is very unfortunate because the first 30 minutes you're sitting there, you're watching advertisements, 80% of which you will forget or will never see. So I remember.
I personally think that movie theaters should play the movie at the time it's scheduled to start.
Yeah, if you're gonna play fucking advertisements, play that before.
I mean, if you go to like any other, if you go to like any other show, like if you go to like an off-Broadway production or something like that, you need to be in your seat by 6:00 because that's when the show starts. They start at 6.
Other advertisement before, yeah, they don't do. Hey, be there at 6. But we won't actually start this movie till 6:30 because we got to get all the ads. It's like, okay, why don't you do that before? I've never understood.
You can play the ads. You can play the ads before the movie starts.
Yeah, even cable fucking actually starts their shows on the dot. So the fact that you've chosen to do something that cable hasn't even decided to do yet, well done. There's no heart in this movie. It's like Natalie Portman was very much obviously contractually like forced into doing this movie. Tessa Thompson is unbearable.
Just glad to be working.
Yeah, just glad to get like a fucking paycheck. And Chris Hemsworth, I guarantee you,
who was a producer on this film.
Hard fucking rip.
I don't know if you caught that.
No, I didn't. Mostly because I was so distracted by the fucking was in charge of the credits. Who was in charge of that? I understand that you got a really good deal on a fucking preset font pack that you downloaded off of fucking for Adobe After Effects, but you didn't need to put every single fucking font in that pack in the fucking credits. There was no cohesiveness. It was just like
I caught that, yeah.
That's like a kid that does fucking that finds out that word art exists in PowerPoint, and it's just like, all the word art will occur. Yes. It doesn't need to match at all. I was that kid, by the way, in 5th grade. So I get it, but I was also in 5th grade. You got paid because you're an adult. This is your career. Bullet Train looks good. Actually, I like the superhero pets movie idea. There's something about The Rock voicing Crypto. It's pretty great. I don't know. That's one of those cute movies. You're like, oh, that looks cute. Most of the ones that you're supposed to say, oh, that looks cute, I wanted to die because I was cringing so hard in the movie theater. So, yeah. You still believe in me? I'm glad somebody does. Oh, shit. This movie didn't deliver on the cringe I was really hoping it was going to do. It didn't make me laugh, except for, like, very few times. I laughed when Jane Foster died. I wasn't supposed to, but I did. Mostly because I could almost see the fucking relief on Natalie Portman's face, like, oh, it's over. I don't have to do this shit again. You know? Okay, so if anyone here has watched the recent Jurassic Park movie, there is something my family and I kind of picked up on when we watched it, because we go watch a movie and then we talk about it afterwards, which is probably why I'm at least somewhat decent at doing this. We've been doing this my entire fucking life. One thing that we picked up on in the Jurassic Park movie was especially Jeff Goldblum. This was very particular about him. He was phoning it in so hard for the character he was playing that you couldn't not notice it. It was very obvious. You can't even call it half-assing. And I don't even know if I would dare to call it a quarter-assing. It was like 1/8 of an ass was being used for him to give a shit. He just didn't want to.
So it was half of a butt cheek.
It was half of a butt cheek. Yes. Okay. And Jane Foster, Natalie Portman's character, gave me the same feeling. At no point did I think she wanted to be there. And that really sucks. I have seen some shitty movies where it was very obvious everyone was having fun. Freddy vs. Jason is not a masterpiece by any means, okay? But it was very clear they were having an absolute blast on that set. I'm so black-pilled you don't watch Marvel. Yeah, I couldn't even convince Loki to watch this, okay? I asked him, hey, you want to watch this with me? And he just looked at me and walked away. So, no, I didn't get him to watch this with me. I even asked him if he wanted to be on the stream. And he was just like, no, I don't want to watch this thing. I can't blame you. The best part of the Thor movies was Loki. And the fact that Loki is God, it left, and I know I keep talking about it, but it did leave a very noticeable gap in there. The lack of Tom Hiddleston's Loki was very apparent too.
It did.
And I don't even think they bothered to try to come up with someone to like fill in for him. I kind of got the feeling they were dipping their toes in Valkyrie being his replacement, but I don't think they will ever have enough balls to actually commit to that. I like on no planet do I actually think that. The Asgard as like a place is it's not like you go again, watch the original, watch what Asgard was, and then look what it's become. And part of it's because of Valkyrie's leadership, which is I'm very sorely lacking.
Yeah.
Did she even have like a fucking number 2? I don't even think she has a number 2
to
serve as like her replacement.
The bug dude, the bug guy from Ragnarok.
Is he really fucking the number 2?
It seemed that way. Like he was the one like taking notes all the time.
They were the only ones dipping their toes in Valkyrie. Oh god, that's cringe shit. Oh dear god.
Meek. Thank you, Chris. That was his name.
Meek. He couldn't even get another Asgardian. Like it's just the Norse mythos is so rich with like characters and lore and all this shit, and the fact that they can't even name Valkyrie, they can't even fucking name her. She doesn't even have a name. She had a name before she became a Valkyrie. There's no reason she should still be called Valkyrie, okay? So fucking stupid. This is just ugh. Her character pisses me off. I cannot deal with her. She just has this condescending, I'm better than you attitude that isn't earned in any way, shape, or form. Like, take her to AA, okay? And just, Thor, get off your stupid ass and actually, like, rule these people. I know you don't want to, but you kind of got to. That's just how it is. And Sif being thrown in there. I have been wanting Sif back for a while, and I can't believe this is this movie and how she was displayed in this movie is how I got her back.
Yeah, because like we haven't seen that. I think that we haven't seen Jamie Alexander since Thor 2.
Yeah, because the Thor TV series took off. Well, not the Thor. The
Wait, I think she had a few appearances in Guardian or in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think she appeared a few times.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know why I said Thor. But she had that one where she was trying to hunt down Lorelei, which, for those who don't know, she's like this seductress. Yeah. Technically, that's Loki's bitch. One of the many that gets thrown around in whatever version you're reading, but...
Right.
Because she does this manipulative seductress thing. Yeah. So there's a little mischief involved. So like they kind of plot together a little bit. That's just kind of how it is. But Sif was apparently just like chasing after her, and you know whatever. I think that was like the last memorable time that she was around. And because she was associated with the TV version, and the person in charge of the TV Marvel, the person in charge of the movie Marvel, hated each other, so that anybody that was on TV Marvel wasn't allowed to come back to movie Marvel, and vice versa. It's stupid.
Yeah, except with the exception of Nick Fury.
Yeah, but Samuel L. Jackson is his own entity. He doesn't count as far as rules go. Because he's Samuel L. Jackson.
This is fair. That's fair.
So
rules do not apply to Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, it's Samuel L. Jackson. Everyone accepts that he is above all rules because Samuel L. Jackson. He has earned that right. Thor had a wife and a daughter, and Marvel apparently not. No, he hasn't gotten out of his "I'm the quarterback" phase. And I thought he kind of did at the end of the first one. And then he kind of continued that a little bit. Isn't it embarrassing that the first 3 Thor movies, including the ones he was kind of involved in a little bit, that sums up. That's actually pretty. We're pretty cool on Thor's character. I didn't think we didn't need a 4th one. You know, I don't know what else to talk about.
Well, because the first 3 films were all about Thor needs to discover who he is, and they set this one up to be that, but it's actually Thor needs a purpose. Thor needs a sense of purpose in his life. He has a purpose.
You gotta fucking rule Asgard, you asshole.
That's what it should be, yes. But
yeah, I know you don't want to, but you got to, because really, we're gonna let the fucking drunk, nameless Valkyrie in charge of this place? No wonder there's an amusement park, and yet these people are still fucking living in tents. All right? Mm-hmm. Really?
It's also I'll give it a little bit of credit in that this is the first movie in a very, very long time that actually portrayed the idea of a father being a good thing.
That is true.
Thor does, decide to, adopt the girl at the end.
Yeah. Love. That's her name, by the way.
Yeah.
That's where the title comes in. Love.
That's
the God Butcher's fucking daughter is named Love.
At least it's portraying the idea of a father being a good thing for a child.
Yeah.
I forgot that Hollywood could tell that. I was surprised that Hollywood could teach that lesson, could still have that message. Even though that child actress was shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like she comes back.
Who did your family know to get you in this?
Let's look at it from her perspective here. She's in the desert. She's literally, is begging her father for help. And then the next thing she knows, her dad is lying there dead or dying.
They're in a completely different location.
They're in a different location. She's now suddenly fine. Her dad is lying there dead. And her dad is telling her, hey, this bloody guy over there, this bloody muscle-bound dude over there, he'll take care of you.
That's your new daddy. What?
That's a lot to take in from her perspective in just a few moments.
Yeah.
Have some emotion instead of just, I'm standing here to look cute and precocious because the producers clearly know my parents or something.
Yeah.
She was terrible.
Oh, God. She was bad. I understand. It's sometimes hard to find a good child actor or actress that kind of fits the role. But
it is, especially since by definition, children actors have less experience since they don't have as much life. So I get that, but you couldn't have found someone who could at least try to show emotion.
But that's hard, Josh. That takes talent.
It does.
No, man. So. Yeah. So if I was to kind of try to sum this movie up, God Butcher, who isn't known as the God Butcher yet, daughter dies. He then goes on this fucking quest to
kill religion.
Yeah, basically kill every mythos ever so that he can then, I don't know, appease the fucking thing that will, the Shenron, Galaxy Shenron, and wish his daughter back to life.
But that wasn't his goal. Thor had to remind him of that. His goal was to wish all the gods out of existence. That was his goal. Thor changed his mind. Which, it could have been like that's what they expect his theory to be. Have him, beat them all up, and then when he gets there, wish for his daughter back. That would have been a little more impactful.
Okay, so you telling me my brain came up with an actual better reasoning than like the actual movie?
Yes.
Because my brain didn't understand.
Yes, after his daughter died, he killed that god because the god didn't care about, his people at all. And so he then goes on this quest, like, I make a vow, I will destroy all gods. So when they figure out that he's going to try to go to eternity, they figure out that his plan is to make the wish to kill all the gods in the universe. So he doesn't have to hunt them down individually anymore. I personally think it would have been, better if they just assumed that was his plan. Have him, beat, Thor and Jane and all them. And so he gets to the eternity and, they think he's lost and he just wishes for his girl back.
Okay, so
that would have been better, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would have. My brain came up with a completely different thing. I did have to go eat food at some point, so maybe. I thought that he was like, he did like this quest and found out that he had to like sacrifice gods in order to like get to eternity, and then Shenron wish his fucking daughter back. That's kind of like the impression I got, but you're right. He literally just wanted to go on this quest for vengeance and was like, you can wish for anything. Why don't you just wish your daughter back? So in reality, he didn't have to kill anybody.
No.
That's so stupid.
Yes.
You heard Hercules? He is. He's at the very end. Yes.
He's at the end credit scene. He's on screen for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, he looks like shit. But it's okay.
I mean, he does kind of resemble the comic book character.
He looks better than Zeus does. I'll give him that. He looks more convincing as Hercules than the guy than Russell Crowe and fucking Zeus with his fucking sundress skirt.
How do you mess up Zeus that bad?
It's so easy. Okay, it's so fucking easy to do this. It's not rocket science. You put a big buff dude with a giant fucking white beard and have him start throwing shit that looks like lightning. And he's seriously kind of an asshole.
Seriously, especially with the times we're currently living in, Zeus is like the avatar for toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Just have him be the toxic male and no one would have a problem with that because it's frickin' Zeus. He is a horrible person.
He is a toxic, not meme, not like meme toxic. No, he is literally by definition a toxic male. He is like the embodiment of what it's like to be like all the negative qualities of masculinity for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
He embodies.
I mean, like roughly like half of every single Greek myth in existence wouldn't have happened if Zeus just kept it in his pants.
He fucks everything.
Yes.
A rock, a tree, a lake.
Yeah. Like
that horse over there. Just everything.
I mean, literally the only Greek myth that I can think of off the top of my head where Zeus is not terrible was when he turned the old dying couple into trees so that they would always be together. It's the only nice thing I can ever remember him doing.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that really involves him at all, where he's just not a straight up asshole.
Pretty much.
Like, even in, like, the Hades Persephone story, which really doesn't involve Zeus at all. I mean, Demeter, because I'm pretty sure Persephone is the daughter of Zeus and Demeter, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Demeter goes to Zeus, is like, hey, can you help me? And he's just like, yeah, fuck off. And that's pretty much his only role in that story. He doesn't really give a shit. Demeter has to basically do all the heavy lifting.
Pretty much. And then because she ate some of the fruit of Hades, she has to return there every year.
Yeah, and that's why we have 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Exactly. But again, like, he's not even really in that story. He's still a complete asshole.
Yes, pretty much.
Like, what? I fucked you and spawned something? That's not my problem.
I guess in the Iliad, he basically tells the Greek gods, knock it off with helping out the mortals. You're screwing everything up for them. You're making everything worse for them. Just leave them alone.
If there's no damsels in distress, I can't fuck them. What do you mean? God damn it, Zeus. This was, I have to say, one of the worst interpretations of Zeus I have seen.
Yes, easily.
And I'm gonna make a bold statement. And I do not make this statement lightly. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief did Zeus better.
I haven't seen any of the Percy Jackson films.
The fucking films is like, there's not a negative word strong enough for how bad they are. If you read the source material, don't. It will ruin your whole day. Don't do it. It fucking sucks. It absolutely fucking sucks.
Okay, then.
There's a reason they only made 2. By the way, the book series is still being written because he spiraled out into different mythos. So the guy that wrote them, he thought the movies were so shit that he literally, like, broke contract after 2 of them. Was like, you can't fucking do anything with my shit anymore. Fuck off.
Wow.
It was that awful. So Zeus should be getting drunk and having orgies.
I mean, that is pretty much Zeus in 90% of every myth.
Or just being an asshole in general. So it's just, this movie's so just I'm disappointed with it. I wanted more cringe.
Yeah.
And you'll never convince me Thor and Jane Foster are supposed to be a couple. There's no chemistry. There's as much chemistry as water and ice. Fuck off. Nothing happening there. They don't ever sell me on being a couple. And it's just very, like, forced. Now, I will say, this was the best movie as far as trying to make them a couple. But that was also, like, a main focus of this movie.
Yeah.
That has been a very passing focus in the other ones. So.
Mm-hmm. And as far as, like, some of the more comedic elements, I did enjoy, now that Jane has these superpowers, her, like, changing her catchphrase, like, each time, because she's, like, trying to find one that will stick. I thought that was a cute little idea.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, that was one of those, like, rare, actually, like, somewhat funny moments. But I don't know. It's very, very bland. Kind of just, okay, this happened. It's not really memorable. I'm not gonna care about it. I guarantee you.
No.
By the end of this year, I'm not gonna give a shit. I'm not even gonna remember it. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm kind of done with my review. Are you done with your? Are you done with the review? Anything else you want to talk about?
I think I said everything I want to say about it.
Yeah.
Again, I was surprisingly bored throughout most of it, so I'm already losing what I remember watching.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, friendly reminder, Guardians of the Galaxy were in this movie.
Were they, though?
Their bodies were there. I don't know if the characters were there, but their bodies were. So I think that somewhat counts. So Jane Foster dies in this. Yeah. Well, if we're gonna be honest, Jane Foster died as a character a long time ago. Yeah, she dies in this because she has cancer and the fucking powers that Thor's first hammer penis gave her are like basically sucking everything that's fighting the cancer away from her, so she ends up dying.
Which again was not explained until like the final act. Which it's like
it's like they forgot.
Like maybe make that like something that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of like one moment where she like puts down the hammer, she's like, she's in the bathroom, she puts down the hammer, and that's like the first time we've seen her untransformed since she got it, which we didn't actually see her get the hammer.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have this big moment. Like, why do we not get to see that? Someone turning into the god of thunder? Why would we as the audience want to see that?
I don't know. I do want to see how she gets those extensions in. Her hair went from being like the here to like here, you know? Like, the hammer can make your hair change. It's also a stylist. So, if you want to go see it. I guess I don't think personally it's really worth spending the money, but
no,
I didn't spend the money, so what am I to tell you how to do your money? So.
That's fair.
I don't know. Having a Thor, this is my biggest pet peeve. Having a Thor movie without Loki makes it feel a little hollow. So. Anyway. Alright, Josh, you got anything happening? Or Stoof that you would talk about?
I'm still working on Secret Stoof.
Secret Stoof, the secret super double secret probation Stoof is still being happened. So
still working on Secret Stoof that I'm not ready to talk about yet, even though you already know about it.
I do?
Maybe.
All I can think about right now is food.
Me too, actually.
With food?
Hashtag me too.
Yeah, me too, I'm hungry. Hashtag me too, I'm hungry. Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed. You thought it was horrible, destroyed every serious moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't disagree, Pops.
I 1000% agree with that. We have got into this and we have talked a lot of the problems. I cannot emphasize this enough, though. Prepare for there to be like no serious moments. And anytime it looked like they're building, it will be cut down by a joke. Korg absolutely fucking blows because he is like single-handedly.
I hated Korg.
Yeah. He went from being one of my favorite parts of Ragnarok to being like the worst part of this movie. I don't think it comes close. I think Korg is the worst part of this movie.
Every time they did the narration, every time Korg did one of his narrations, he just sucks you completely out of the film. Like, what?
Yeah.
Well, I don't need a recap of their relationship. All we need to know is that. And
I saw the movie.
And I get it. You need to explain that they were a couple for people who hadn't seen. This might be their first MCU film. I get that, but all people need to know: they used to date. And they went their separate ways. That's all you need to know.
By the way, them just interacting in the movie actually explains that. So
yes,
you didn't even need the narration.
No,
you showed and told me. I don't know why you did both, but you did both. Korg proves Taco just wanted to hear himself talk. Yeah, I'm convinced that he kind of got up his own asshole and really thought highly of himself. He's the guy at the party that told a funny joke once and then suddenly thinks that he now has the title of class clown and thinks he needs to joke all the time to relive that one moment where he made everyone laugh. So that's Taika Waititi in this movie.
Yeah,
I think this movie would have been better if you just took Korg out of it. Honestly, I don't know why Korg's still in it.
So they could have comic relief. Except they forgot to have comic relief.
Comedy? Yeah. They wrote jokes that weren't funny and then thought, that was good enough, so it's fine.
Wait a minute.
So.
I remember seeing something. I saw something on the Twitters.
On the Twitters?
It was a joke.
A joke? Is it a funny joke?
Where was it? A tweet from Critical Drinker. There it is. Okay. Sharing.
Share. I will click. Click. Zoom. Enhance. Zoom and enhance. Going to watch Thor: Love and Thunder now, but a reminder to anyone else going to see it. Thor: Love and Thunder is a comedy. Don't go in expecting groundbreaking work of cinema. Just shut your brain off and enjoy the movie for what it is. Okay.
And then he responded.
Here's the problem, though. Comedies are supposed to make you laugh. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yes.
I have no issue with them trying different subgenres to reinvent this. Superheroes are very oversaturated right now, and them trying to reinvent things, right? So I don't have an issue with them trying rom-com version. I don't have an issue with them trying as like a comedy version. The problem is if the jokes don't land and your entire script is like that, it's really awkward.
As someone who has watched many bad films,
yes,
the worst are bad comedies.
The ones that don't make you laugh.
The ones that do not make you laugh, because unlike a film that takes itself like dead serious and it just fails miserably in its execution, like The Room, you can laugh at it because it's clearly trying to be this dramatic story and it's just incompetent. A comedy, all you can really say about it is the joke wasn't funny, and that's it. It's like, oh, there's nothing to play with to laugh at.
Oh yeah, my face was just like, for most of the movie, just, and then occasionally I'd be like, that's the most you got out of me. So
it was like watching Stephen Colbert. Like, this is supposed to be funny, right?
I know there are people that are being paid to laugh right now, and I know he's pausing for comedic effect.
Yes.
And looking at me like he's expecting me to laugh. But I know that was supposed to be a joke, but I am not laughing. So,
I'm not seeing the joke.
Yeah, there's nothing to laugh at. So you can't just throw any fucking sentence into that comedic timing and expect me to laugh at it.
Mm.
So Colbert's supposed to be funny. He actually was at one point.
I liked him when he was back on The Daily Show, but that was a long time ago now.
Yeah. No, he was actually like funny. It kind of makes you wonder if he just stopped being funny or the writing team stopped being funny. So
or if he thought he was, the shit, so he got rid of, all the writers who were questioning his talent. The ones that were probably the ones that were actually funny.
Hell no. Yeah.
So. Again, Bam. I did not hit her. I did not.
I did not. Hi, Mark. All right. Well, I'm hungry. Josh is hungry. I have errands I have to go run. I have things I gotta go do. Because I don't want to do shit tomorrow. Tomorrow is my heiress you don't have to do anything. So I'm trying to get all my stuff done. And fun thing, I'm at the very end of Deep Space Nine.
Dude, not already?
Dude, I slowed down. Like I've watched like 2 episodes this week. No, it's been like once a week because I've been so busy lately. So I should have been finished like weeks ago, and I wasn't. But look, we wanted to watch the last 3. Technically, it's the last 3. It's the last episode and then the 2-parter. So, which is technically the last episode.
Right.
So I have that left.
And there were they're technically 2 episodes, but they aired back to back. So
yeah, that's last 3 episodes is what we're calling it, technically speaking. It's technically the last 2, but also technically the last 3.
So good question.
Just fuck Ducat. There we go. I just had to get that out of my system. What?
Well, Ducat was a villain they didn't quite know what to do with. They brought him back after they told his story. They reached the end of his character.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought him back. And I think that was a huge mistake. Because he when they brought him back, it was he's now just a mustache twirler, where he had a lot of nuance before.
He's one of those villains that I'm just like, okay, you have made me hate him, but I kind of like that I hate him. Kind of like my relationship with Bellatrix Lestrange, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those relationships where you're just like, okay, you're a shit fucking person, but I kind of absolutely love you for that. But I hate you. It's complicated, right?
Mm-hmm. He was extremely well written. That's the character I detest more than anyone else. I hate Kai Wynn.
Kai Wynn is worse. She's the Umbridge of Deep Space Nine. Tell me I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. She is.
And yes, Garrick. Thank you, Rambam. Garrick might be in my. I think Garrick is in my top 5 of favorite Star Trek characters ever.
I'd have to. Yeah, he's definitely in my top 5. Odo, though, Odo's my fucking dude. All right, I love Odo. I do love Odo. All right, Odo's my fucking dude. I have started noticing because I watched The Patriot on the 4th of July, and then I kind of rewatched the MASH movie.
Yeah, Renee Auberjonois was in those.
Imagine my shock when I saw sudden Odo in fucking and then he
colonial garb. Yep.
Yeah, I was just like, Odo.
Are you aware that he also voiced Chef Louis in The Little Mermaid? The chef that was chasing Sebastian.
That's so amazing. That
was also him.
Amazing. Yes,
that was also
Garrick. Garrick is amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing.
Garrick is my favorite character from DS9.
I love all the characters, right? I do. I'd have to put Garrick and Odo might be my top ones if I had to pick 2.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I'm never gonna get over the fact that apparently Mirrorverse Ezri is me. I didn't know I had a visual twin in Deep Space Nine. Also, Ezri in general is me. It's very uncomfortable to watch yourself be on the screen.
Really?
And yeah, Ezri is definitely.
I think Ezri is one of the weakest characters. Now, granted, she didn't have much time.
Are you calling my character weak? How dare you? Fuck you, Josh. There's no
sorry.
Gags, I mean, it's hard.
Jetsia was amazing.
Jetsia, you can't fucking. You can't picking her up. It's fucking difficult, man.
All because of a contract dispute.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
I was at a convention.
You do the same work for 50% of the. Fuck off. I don't know why you offered that, you asshole.
I was at a convention, and both Terry Farrell and Michael Dorn were there, and I went to their panel, and someone asked, why did you leave the show? And she said, well, here's the thing though. So according to her, when she signed the original contract, it was for a 6-year deal. Then they had to do a 7th season, so they had to renegotiate the contracts with all the cast.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, they're like, offering basically like the same price to like everyone else, and then for some reason they gave her an offer which was lower than everyone.
50%.
And she's like, well, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's fair.
Just make it that price. And they rejected for some reason.
Yeah, the same price. I wasn't even asking for more. Literally the same fucking price as the previous season. Yep.
Then she went, okay, how about, I won't be part of the main cast, but I'll still be available to do like guest appearances, like and be part of the B cast that everyone else is, and and that way I can also like seek other work. And they went, oh, so you're leaving? We can kill you then, because that's drama. And she's like, okay.
Yeah. That's fucked. They fucked her over so hard. Like, there is no fucking reason for it. Also, Ducat pisses me the fuck off. I can't get over it. I can't fucking get over him and his fucking bullshit. I cannot fucking get over his shit. I don't know what to do with him. He's so fucking.
It really should have ended after Duet when they were stuck on that planet. Cisco should have killed him in that episode, and that because you had done everything you can with that character.
I kind of agree that would have been fine to kill him off there. I really don't fucking mind him at the moment. Him slapping Kai Wynn's cheeks is just not an image I will ever get out of my brain.
That's just a whole bunch of no.
Yeah, I was just like, wow.
It's like, let's have a love relationship between the two ugliest people we have.
Yeah, well, it was like he plays. And I have to say, the actor who plays Ducat,
Marco Lamo is fantastic.
Fucking amazing. The fact that even when he's in Bajoran form, he still like bends down like he's still in he's still dressed as he's still a Cardassian, dressed in the Cardassian uniform. He still literally like portrays it as if like because it's muscle memory. That's like one of those small little details that that most actors wouldn't really pick up on, but that's muscle memory. Like he's been doing that forever. So even though he's not wearing those restrictive Cardassian uniforms that basically like makes your posture like almost go backwards with like how rigid they are, he still acts like
and those like neck makeup things, which would also really restrict your movement.
Yes. So it's like he still acts when he like bends down, when he does stuff, he still acts that as if he is, he still has all of that on. And that's just one of those little details that is so fucking masterful. I absolutely adore this series. I adore Deep Space Nine.
There's a lot so many good episodes.
Dude, so good. Like absolutely so good. There's a couple of episodes the
baseball episode frustrates me. The baseball episode really frustrated me. Simply due to,
but also I love Vulcans, so kind of confused.
Well, it's also one from a purely logical standpoint. Of course, Vulcans would be better at baseball than humans.
Yeah, I love this idea that this fucking Vulcan is so fucking butthurt over this human being. Like, that he has, for fucking decades now, gone out of his way to be a snarky asshole. That is some of the most petty-ass high school shit I've ever heard. And just like, how can you not see that's not logical? Logic would dictate to fucking let it go.
Yes.
But you have to be a passive-aggressive asshole about it.
But then also from Cisco's standpoint, of course Vulcans are going to kick your ass in baseball. They're stronger and they have better mental acuity. Of course they're better at it.
Yeah.
But then also as a baseball fan, Cisco's management of the team is horrible.
So shit.
Like,
oh my god! It's
why
like
is Nog why is Nog the smallest person on the team?
The catcher.
The catcher. Why is Worf? No. Worf, as probably the single greatest athlete that Cisco has, being a Klingon, why isn't he manning center field?
Shortstop or center field. You need to have people that can run in the outfield, and then you need to have people that have really quick reflexes in the middle field. You need to have your most the person with the most dexterity needs to be the shortstop. Okay.
Speed in the middle, power in the corners. That's that's the age-old philosophy for baseball.
You need to have someone that can fucking
yes. Well, because Michael Dorn's left-handed, as is Worf, so you don't want a left-handed person at shortstop.
Because you're right. He should have been pitcher. Lefties always fuck up anything that has to do with the ball because pretty much most people are right-handed. So lefties have a tendency to fuck everything up because people get in the rhythm of right-handed people and how the ball spins. So personally, I would have put him as pitcher, but
that doesn't mean that also doesn't mean Worf has control. He might be able to throw harder, but he doesn't. He doesn't necessarily means he has aim. Which you have established that Dr. Bashir has pretty good dexterity and aim.
Yes.
And why was he suddenly a bumbling buffoon in the outfield when we know he's athletically gifted?
I think he was trolling Cisco. I really think they were there. Now knowing what Bashir is, I look back on so many episodes and I was like, you were just fucking trolling people, weren't you?
Like when
you were just fucking with them.
Like when he was kicking O'Brien's ass in handball.
Yeah. Just like, there's so many times it's like, man, you just trolled the fuck out of people just to be like, oh yeah. You won. Good game. High five.
I also love I also do like the story because if you notice in that episode, despite the fact that it's very clear Rom is right-handed, he's suddenly a lefty in that episode because Max Grodenchek played semi-pro ball before he went into acting, and he was hands down the best ball player of anyone there. He could not convincingly be a bad, uncoordinated ball player unless he did it with his offhand.
Okay. I would have loved to have seen Rom be like, oh, he's the bumbling buffoon, right? And then he switches, like, which side he bats from, or he switches, like, what his dominant hand is. And then all of a sudden, he's, like, the best player by far. And, like, even Worf gets a little butthurt over it. Like, I would have loved to have seen that Rom of all fucking people. Like, absolutely just owning everyone.
Would it have fit his character, though? Because he is an uncoordinated buffoon.
Yeah, but accidentally being, like, a naturally super talented, like, Ferengi at baseball, which is a human sport that's basically extinct. How is that not part of Rom's character? Being accidentally, like amazing at something. You know? I don't know.
They still had him, like, you know, have the heroic moment where he accidentally bunted.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so we were leaving to get food, and then we started talking about Deep Space Nine. I will give you all my thoughts on
maybe that should be next episode, our next show.
You want to talk about all of Deep Space Nine? Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
I know Arwyn loves that stuff too.
Little video on that. I'll see if I can bring a couple people on for that too. I know there's at least one person that really loves Deep Space Nine.
I can't imagine who you might be referring to.
It's a real mystery, ain't it? Definitely not the person who got me fucking watching it in the first place.
Could it possibly be someone who wants to be low key about it?
Who wasn't in this movie, even though they should have been? Yeah. You know, one of those people. Definitely isn't and my shirt at the moment.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely not. Not around. Not behind me. Can't be found. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, let's talk about something good
next
week.
Yes, I'm going to talk about something good. Talk about that, and I'm going to go get food.
Yes.
So,
me too.
Bye. Y'all know
Bye,
the rules.
everyone.
When I get hungry, we fucking leave. So bye.